Currently riding an amazing 27-fight win streak, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil's Renan Barão gave U.S. fight fans a taste of what he could do when he scored WEC submission wins over Anthony Leone and Chris Carriasso. But for his UFC debut, the 24-year-old phenom will be tested by none other than the first man to ever hold the WEC featherweight title, Cole Escovedo. A veteran of a decade in the fight game, Escovedo is now battling it out at bantamweight and looking better than ever as he enters the octagon for the first time. Our tale of the tape for this bantamweight fight. Barão, 24 years old, 5 years younger than the American Cole Escovedo, who will have a 2-inch reach advantage. Here is Bruce Buffer.
And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Steve Mazzagatti.
Steve Mazzagatti, our referee for this bantamweight battle. Cole Escovedo against Renan Barão.
All right, gentlemen. Now bring it on, come on.
Here we go.
Barão attacks right away with a solid combination, and he's got Escovedo up and down. Escovedo very good off his back, Mike. He's got a deadly triangle, real long legs, and can catch chokes from very unlikely angles because of that reach that he has.
Barão, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt, and as I mentioned, unbeaten in his last 27 fights.
Escovedo doing a good job of keeping one foot on the hip. His left is inside as a butterfly guard. He may perhaps try to sweep or, as I said, set up that famous triangle of his.
Escovedo, the first ever WEC 145-pound champion. That was in the pre-Zuffa days. 17 wins in his mixed martial arts career. Only one of his 17 victories have gone the distance. And he's faced the likes of Jens Pulver, Antonio Banuelos, Bert Polashevsky, Michael McDonald, the 20-year-old phenom, not once but twice.
He did a good job right there of using that fence, pushing his feet off to turn himself around. He's in full guard now with Renan Barão. Barão not trying to pass yet, just utilizing some ground and pound. And there, he throws those legs up, but Barão, very well studied, knew what was coming.
Yeah, right, as Steve Mazzagatti was giving him space to get up. He almost changed his mind. Barão, very dynamic striker.
Yeah, Cole has some excellent striking as well, but he would definitely like to keep this on the outside, Mike. Utilize his long kicks and punches. Barão, we saw early in that first round, just jumped on him, tried to close that distance, and wanted to fight him in tight to negate that reach advantage Escovedo has. Oh, nice leg kick.
Man, he whipped that right leg.
That's very Aldo-esque, that left hook to the body and followed by that right low kick.
And the way he turns the shoulder, he gets the momentum going both ways. Just missed on that one. You turn that shoulder, power through the hook, and then the kick comes flying.
And I was just about to say this, Escovedo will pull guard. He will jump guard all the time, and he's always looking for it. Very, very confident to fight off of his back. Doesn't consider it a disadvantage at all to be on his back.
And as you mentioned earlier, Escovedo has an incredible triangle.
And he's throwing up his legs high. If he can get Barão a little bit tired and, get Barão sloppy, he's just got to take advantage of any opportunity Barão does. If Barão puts his hands on the mats and lets Escovedo isolate one of them.
2 minutes on the clock here in round one. Barão in the closed guard of Escovedo.
Barão is very wisely, Mike. If you see him, he never puts his hands flat on the mat, never lets Cole isolate him, keeps his elbows tight and his hands pressed to the chest or the neck area. Just throwing some short ground and pound there. But he's yet to look for an opening or try to pass. The only way he passed early is he just waited for the moment where Escovedo tried to attack. And when Escovedo opened up, then he let it go and passed through.
Trying to throw some elbows from the bottom as well as Escovedo, controlling the posture nicely.
Stop, stand up.
And they're going to stand him up. Just over a minute on the clock here in round one. UFC debut for both men. Renan Barão in the red trunks, white trunks for Cole Escovedo.
Nice jab by Escovedo there, Mike.
You saw the head snap back.
And again, Barão gets him down inside Escovedo's guard, but he's not really doing too much from this position. And he's not trying to pass either.
And Joe, you talk about it all the time. The level of activity, the constant movement and motion of the lighter fighters is a ton of fun to watch.
Yeah, they're my favorite weight classes. They're 35 and 45. I just think the pace these guys keep, it's almost impossible for heavyweights to fight at the same pace. And they're so technical. I mean, you have to be. There, Escovedo threw up a bit of a sloppy armbar attempt there. Nice short elbow from the bottom by Escovedo.
15 seconds.
I'm a little bit surprised that Barão's not doing anything to try to pass this guard. He's just really throwing tiny, short shots from inside. And Escovedo makes another offensive attempt.
$27-1. Renan Barão.
Bota o gelo. Ok. Aqui, olha só, deixa eu te falar uma coisa. Tá falando pra tu não bater na nuca dele. Já bateu umas 3 vezes, tá? Outra coisa.
Watch out.
Não precisa ficar botando outra posição, não.
Don't take him down. You don't need to
Bota
take him
ali,
down.
começa a trabalhar pra chutar as pernas.
You gotta kick his legs a little more.
E levanta a mão direita.
And you gotta keep your right hand up. Keep your right hand up and avoid him hitting your head. That's it.
Não sentiu força, não. Não sentiu força nele, não, né?
Barão scored 2 takedowns in this round. Here's the first one. Slammed him to the mat. And the second one, Escovedo pulled guard, and Barão just dropped down with him. But again, when he got into that position, really didn't do much offensively and never really passed.
Start of round number 2. And Barão's corner, as you heard, saying no reason to look for the takedown. He's trying to stand up a little bit. We saw him throw the one kick, Joe, and he really whips the hip into it. And again, he goes to the body with that lead left hook.
Oh, he got dropped. Oh, he got tagged.
And now he looks for the takedown. Man, he walked in and he took another good shot from Escovedo.
Yeah, he took a hard knee there as well. That may or may not be when he had a knee down. It was very tough to tell. It happened so fast. And now he's looking to pass here, Mike. And if you see, Escovedo has his left butterfly or his left foot inside, pressing on the hip. Escovedo's got really good leg dexterity, Mike. Very good at moving those legs and hips from off of his back. Very good at recovering guard. He's trying to set up an armbar or a triangle here, and Barão, very aware of it, pulls out of there.
Well, Escovedo, Joe, he's long and lean, and those long legs are a good reason why he's able to put the triangle choke on so many victims.
Nice elbow there by Escovedo.
You know, it's interesting coming in on paper. You would think Barão would have had the edge in the striking, but so far it's been very even, and Escovedo's actually thrown a couple of big shots.
Well, one of the differences is just the height and reach of Escovedo. I mean, he's listed as only 2 inches taller, but he looks quite a bit taller than that.
Don't stand there. Don't stand in the middle. Do not stand in the middle. Move. Attack.
The corner of Escovedo making sure he keeps utilizing his footwork. He likes to throw that lead left if it's the hook or the jab. Does Renan Barão.
See Escovedo, oh, nice leg kick there by Barão.
Good switch kick to the body.
Very nicely done by Escovedo.
Trying to utilize the teep.
Again with that body kick.
Some power in the left.
Escovedo's listening to his corner as well, Mike. He's not standing right in front of Barão. He's giving him some movement.
Midway point of the fight and the takedown for Barão.
Every time Barrao's wanted to take Escovedo down, he's been successful. Almost as if Escovedo's not really trying to defend it. Happy to fight off of his back. But that doesn't look so good for the judges.
Barrao hasn't been able to do much damage from top, Joe.
This is one of the first events where the judges have monitors now.
Yes.
And very curious to see how that affects the scoring. I definitely think it's going to improve their perspective, and I applaud Keith Kaiser for improving this.
Well, you and I have said before there's certain angles where we at the broadcast position utilize the monitor because you can't see from that particular angle.
Yeah, there's certain spots where it's impossible for us to tell what's going on, especially when a fighter is not just blocked by a pedestal, or blocked by one of the posts, but underneath. He's on the bottom. You really need to monitor in those situations.
Always looking to improve. The sport of mixed martial arts in the UFC is the leader.
Well, Escovedo, as we said, is happy to be off of his back, Mike, but I think he's got to be more offensive off his back here. He's got to take some chances. He keeps getting stood up by Mazzagatti. He's defending himself well, but he's not doing enough offensively off his back, in my opinion.
1 minute now on the clock here in the second. Barrao with those hands tight.
Yeah, Escovedo
He'd like to explode a bit. Leg gets caught momentarily.
Escovedo is telegraphing that switch kick to the body that he's had so much success with.
That's probably the biggest shot that he's thrown was the one to the midsection, Joe, on that switch kick.
Yeah, and Barrao, again, if he wants to take Escovedo down, he's been successful with pretty much every attempt.
Escovedo, a black belt in karate, purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
There he goes again, pulls guard, which Escovedo will do. But he's got to, in my opinion, he's got to do more off of his back. He keeps turning his hips, but Barrao's just a bit too studied. He's not going to fall for anything real obvious.
10 seconds.
No more damage from there. Control his wrist. Control his wrist. There you go. Shove him between your legs. Just shove them, make them damage.
Oh. Interesting. Escovedo was attacking right as the bell went off.
The corner of Cole Escovedo, his trainer Mike Pop.
Inside that side so you can kick the leg out.
Okay. You hear me? He's got his takedown.
He's setting up that same armbar that Omagawa got. You got that on him, okay? That Omagawa got on you. That's the same armbar he's leaving his arm open for, okay? You get that, and you kick his head and liver. Hey, I need a time count.
And there's where Cole Escovedo caught Barrao coming in with a nice straight right hand and dropped him. You see Barrao's legs give out, and then Escovedo looked for the knee, but even if the knee landed, Barrao's knees were off the mat. He was very low, so it was hard to tell, but it was definitely a legal knee, although it did not land.
So 5 minutes remain in this fight. 24-year-old Renan Barrao, teammate of Jose Aldo,
Come on.
the WEC featherweight champion. Escovedo looking for what would be the biggest win of his mixed martial arts career. Flying knee. Trying to turn it up early is Barrao.
Escovedo's got Barrao's left arm trapped now, Mike. Let's see if he can do anything with it. What you need to look for is his right leg and see if he does anything. Well, he let go of the arm.
Joe Escovedo's corner talked about potential opening for an armbar against Renan Barrao. They said, hey, it's the one that you got beat by before. Have you seen that opportunity present itself?
Well, he's trapped the arm and he's had the elbow pinched in between his forearm and his chest a couple of times. But, it's never been close enough where I could say, oh, it's right there.
Right.
I think his corners just want him to be more aggressive off of his back.
You got a little time. Go.
And towards the end, you did see him reversing the position, but Renan was very aware of how much time was left, and it could be that it just relaxed at the end.
Nice leg kick. He leaves that leg out there, though, Joe. The last two kicks, Escovedo's been able to catch. Good kick by Escovedo.
Oh, spinning back fist that landed.
Trying to turn it up.
Oh, front kick to the face.
Anderson Silva has started a trend.
He really has.
Good kick to the body. And again he spins. Barao really opening up with his striking, mixing things up well here in the early part of round 3. Again, he leaves that right leg out.
Yeah, and Escovedo's got a nice straight right hand.
And that's the counter on that kick. Check the first one.
Oh, look at that. He tried a hop double kick. Kick with the left, and as you're in the air, switch hips.
Good pace. This is as good as what it was, you know, the first 30 seconds of most fights, Joe. I mean, these bantamweights, featherweight, their cardio is so incredible. The pace will go like this to the very end of the fight. And both men really trying to open up here in the third. Midway point of the third and final round. Inside.
Good third round for Escovedo.
Absolutely.
So far.
He's happy to stand and trade.
And Barao seems to me like he's slowed down a bit. Nice spinning back kick attempt. Oh, flying knee.
See if he turns that hip and spins again.
Big factor in this fight could be those takedowns, Mike. Even though not much was done while Barao was on top, you got to think that the fighter, a good right hand by Barao right there. And here's another takedown attempt, and as every single one of his previous attempts, he's successful with it.
And I was about to say this time he's going to end up getting side control, and just with that, Escovedo does a nice job of turning the hips and getting the guard. I can't recall at all him being in anything but full guard, Joe.
No, he's got an excellent guard. At the very beginning, he was in half guard for a bit, but quickly got his butterflies in place. I just would like to see him be more aggressive with it, more offensive with it.
Hook his wrist. Over the top. Hook his wrist.
You hear his corner offering advice.
Barao on a 15-fight win streak. Has not lost since the first fight of his MMA career in 2005.
Now he's trying. Now he's making some moves off his back.
Gotta always watch the up kick.
Good front kick.
Tries that flying knee again. 30 seconds. Spins again. Good teep.
He's basically 100% for his takedown attempts.
And as you said, that may turn out to be the difference. 10 seconds remain in this fight. And a big ride to finish.
And this is really the story of the fight for Hamill Barao. Over and over again, able to do that. There's a nice flying knee attempt by Barao. There's a spinning back fist. There's another takedown. Pretty much 100% for his takedown attempts. And there's a spinning back kick.
Judges will render their decision. Very highly touted. Huge prospect at 135. Hamill Barao goes the distance with Cole Escovedo.
Throw me a water. Yes. Que morrão final.
We saw some of that dynamic striking ability, especially in the third round from the young Brazilian. And what a great story of perseverance Cole Escovedo is. Win or lose, this is a victory for him to be here tonight.
Yeah, it's great to see him back in top form again.
Yep.
And Cole's still only 29 years old. He's still got a very bright future.
Bruce Buffer has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. The judges score this contest 30-27, 30-27, and 29-28 for the winner by unanimous decision, Hamill.
The unbeaten streak continues. Hamill, the winner by unanimous decision. Fresh off his successful Octagon debut, the youngest fighter in the UFC today, Michael McDonald, looks to impress once again as he battles the kamikaze, Chris Carriazo. It's a California turf war in the bantamweight division tonight as San Francisco's Chris Carriazo squares off against Modesto's Michael McDonald. And given the styles of both men, this is bound to be a fight all fans will remember. A day removed from his 30th birthday, the hard-hitting Carriazo made his UFC debut a successful one when he outpointed Will Campazano. And McDonald, the youngest fighter in the UFC, at 20 years old, followed suit when he engaged in a fight of the night battle with Edwin Figueroa. Now, with both fighters 1-0 in the Octagon, the stakes are even higher than just local bragging rights, as Carriazo and McDonald begin their move toward the top. Our tale of the tape for this bantamweight battle. There it is, 20 years old is McDonald. Carriazo is 29. McDonald 6 inches taller. He will have a 5.5-inch reach advantage. Here's Bruce Buffer.
And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Josh Rosenthal.
Josh Rosenthal, our referee, the beautiful Ariani. MGM Grand Garden Arena.
Gentlemen, you ready? You ready? Let's fight!
Timing is perfect, baby. Timing is perfect.
McDonald in the black trunks. Carriazo, the southpaw, in the white trunks. Carriazo is going to have to solve the reach advantage of McDonald, who has a very vicious right hand. He loves the straight right. And he'll lead with it too.
He just clipped him with it there as Carriazo was kicking.
Uppercut.
Carriazo with the takedown attempt here. And again, what you'll see from McDonald is very clean technique. He's doing everything correctly. Doesn't muscle any of his movements.
Stays very composed. Even in that back and forth battle with Figueroa, he never panicked, Joe.
What a fight that was, and I can't wait to see Edwin Figueroa again as well. And he took that fight on very short notice, and what a war it was.
Caught him on the way out. Carriazo impressive though, 11-2 against 12-1. Two very talented bantamweights battling here tonight in Las Vegas.
Nice leg kick, very nice. Carriazo keeping his hands very high, Mike. Respecting the hands of McDonald.
He also took that head off center when he kicked to get it out of the way of that big right hand.
Yeah, very good point.
And again, see him, he tried to throw the right.
Yeah, he's very aware of that counter, doing a good job to avoid it. Meanwhile, he's landing that right leg kick. Carriazo switched it up to a left.
Again, good leg kicks.
And those will take a toll. If McDonald doesn't start checking those kicks, it's going to take away a lot of his movement. There's landing his own.
And we talked about the fine Muay Thai and kickboxing skills possessed by Carriazo. Carriazo trying to stay tight, head kick. He loves the head kick.
Nice again with that right leg kick. He's very successful with that right kick, Mike. It's going to be a big weapon for Carriazo if he can keep landing it like that. McDonald looking perhaps for a guillotine here. He's controlling the head of Carriazo. Let's see if he decides that nope. Carriazo with a very kick-heavy attack here in this first round. Again. And that's a nice right leg kick again. Fell to the ground there as McDonald swarms on him, but he landed that right kick very well.
Well, oftentimes there's a price to be paid for the leg kick, Joe, because the counter's coming. And that time McDonald placed it perfectly.
Well, it's tough to see from our angle whether the counter landed or whether he just slipped and fell to the ground, but the leg kick definitely landed. And that makes for, several really good solid leg kicks by Carriazo in that first round. Probably the most significant success that either fighter had in that first round.
McDonald is back up. 1:15 on the clock here in round one. Carriazo was excited about this matchup because he knows how highly touted this 20-year-old is.
Carriazo is switching to southpaw as well, Mike. You notice that?
Yep, he's been back and forth. Came out southpaw, then switched, and now he's back. Oh, ducks under. Joe, do you like when they switch stance a lot?
I think it's a smart move if they're comfortable with both positions. I think it gives them, it gives your opponent different looks. It makes them think more.
And the lighter guys seem to always like to switch the stance.
Well, as we said, the lighter guys are just so technical.
Right.
And it's an advantage to be able to fight off of both legs. Both legs forward. Especially when you're a kicker.
Ducks again. And also, if you get a leg that starts taking some kicks, all of a sudden you take that and switch it. It's not your lead leg any longer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Final seconds of round number one. Carriazo and McDonald. Gonna look for one last kick.
Oh.
He threw it, he missed.
Heel hook attempt.
How you feel? How you feel? You feel good? Mikey, you got his timing. He's a little slow, man. Okay.
Let's take a look at some of the action from that round. And there's the right leg kick. That one landed with the foot, not quite as powerful. That was a very solid one with the shin, and McDonald just barely missing with the counter. And there's a right leg kick and a right-left counter by McDonald, especially the left landed very well. Near Carriazo. Carriazo makes an attempt at a high kick. McDonald ducks under it, and then Carriazo switches to a leg lock right at the bell.
Gentlemen, seconds out.
Very good first round for Chris Carriazo.
Really for both fighters.
Yeah. McDonald and Carriazo set for round two. Here we go. Again with the leg kick. Now he's right-handed, Joe. He's got that. Now he switches to southpaw.
And McDonald's really looking for that counter, Mike. He landed that nice right-left at one of the last leg kicks that Carriazo landed, which leads me to think that he's probably getting down that timing of Carriazo. Very high kicks of his own.
And watch the right hand of Michael McDonald. It is always in the pocket. He is always ready to fire. Got hit, though. He'll move the left around a little bit to utilize feints and jabs, etc., but that right hand is always ready to go. And aggressive is Carriazo here early. A minute into round two.
Carriazo really needs to attack like that with those kicks to sort of negate that reach and height advantage of McDonald. He's doing a good job of landing those kicks from a distance where he can't land his hands. But McDonald is clearly looking to counter with those straight punches.
There was the right hand, missed that time. Carriazo's so quick, too. Extremely elusive.
He's telegraphing that left kick a bit.
Lands the left hand. See if he fakes the left kick and tries to mix it up a bit. Oak body. Caught him though, Joe.
I'm surprised that Carriazo's not attacking there. He just went to the inside leg kick. He's done so much damage to the outside of that left thigh. I would think that he would try to work the inside as well. Slips the ground.
Right back up. Both men successful in their UFC debuts. Fighting here tonight in Las Vegas, MGM Grand Garden Arena. Near the midway point of this fight. McDonald pushing forward again. McDonald has countered numerous Carriazo kicks here in this match so far.
Yeah, he seems to be really looking for that one shot.
Again.
Oop, got tagged there.
You got the clock for a second, all right? So take your time, get your breath back.
And there we see it. People need to watch it.
It's what we do.
Women will never understand that. As we will never understand childbirth.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah. You got the clock right now. Sure, you good? Okay.
All right, McDonald's back.
All right, gentlemen, let's fight.
All right, the fight continues. 2 minutes on the clock here in the second. McDonald has really been the man to counter throughout most of this fight. Carriazo's been the one to throw the first strike. Let's see if he tries to beat him to the punch here. Pretty close there.
Just missed that head kick.
Yep, and he mixed it up. He went with the right leg. Kamikaze style, Chris Carriazo. Spent some time in Montreal at the TriStar Gym, home of George St. Pierre, in preparation for tonight's fight. Carriazo's won 4 of his last 5, including his UFC debut.
He's really picking up the intensity here,
he sure
Mike.
is. What a good pace. Stuffed. Little time to work here. Still 50+ seconds on the clock here in round 2.
You're not gonna get taken down. You're not gonna get taken down. Go ahead. Don't let it take you down.
McDonald with a good short right hand on the break.
Michael McDonald, born in January of 1991.
You know what I was just about to say? I would like to see McDonald mix up his attack more. And what does he do? Shoots a perfect takedown into side control. Full
And
mount.
boom. Let's see the clock though, Joe. 17 seconds.
Very nicely done. Carriazo manages to bring it at half guard though, Mike.
He put the knee on the stomach, jumped over, but Carriazo shows good hips.
I think we're going to see a lot more of that in the third round though, when McDonald sees how easily he took Carriazo down and assumed a dominant position. There's that beautiful takedown at the end of the round by Michael McDonald. And, you know, before that, we really hadn't seen very many grappling exchanges at all and nothing on the ground. But he hit that very quickly. Carriazo managed to hip escape and move it into a half guard situation, or at least quarter guard. But very nice takedown by Mike McDonald. And nice to see him mix it up.
I'm afraid of getting my back up against the cage when I circle. You gotta stay away from his power side. All you got is that left leg. All right, baby, let's go. Last round. You get the KO if you want to, okay? You got his timing.
The beautiful Brittany.
Gentlemen, last round.
Carriasso and McDonald, third and final round. Let's see, as Joe talked about, if McDonald looks for the takedown early again. Not just the takedown, but the relative ease, at least he made it look easy, of passing and getting the mount for a moment.
Yeah, I mean, he got real aggressive. He immediately went from side control to mount, but had he not done that, you know, who knows what he could have been able to set up from that spot. But Carriasso had done a good job in bringing it, getting one of Mike McDonald's legs caught in between his, bringing it to a quarter guard situation.
There's that inside leg kick you were looking for earlier, Joe.
See, it's very difficult to sort of judge these stand-up exchanges. You know, it depends on what you favor. Carriasso has definitely had a much more kick-heavy attack, but McDonald's had some really good success with the hands, including that right-left counter where he dropped Carriasso.
McDonald with the lead that time.
Yeah, he throws that again. He throws that lead right and then follows it with the left. Oh, and Carriasso takes him down now. Let's see what kind of a guard Mike McDonald has. I like how he's got Carriasso's right arm tied up. That leaves an attack on that side with Mike McDonald's left leg. If he can get his left leg high and up over, it sets up omoplatas, triangle positions. And it also can possibly set up some sweeps, which it looks like he's trying to do right now. And what he's trying to do is he's trying to utilize his own butterfly guard. All right, he let that go. But he still has a right arm trapped. Now Carriasso is actually letting him have this, letting his arm be pinned on the mat. That's a definite no-no with a high-level guy. The way Carriasso is letting him keep that arm there. He wants to get it out now, and he does. And he lands a little hammer fist there as well.
Under 3.
But again, Mike McDonald ties it up. You see that overhook?
Yep.
That overhook, the reason for that is that Carriasso allows his hands to be put on the mat, and then that arm is trapped. As opposed to Hanan Barao in the last fight we saw, whenever he got into a guard situation, he was very sure that he put both hands on the chest and never let his hands lay flat on the mat. Oh, triangle attempt.
And he slips out. Just past the midway point of the third and final round. Good back and forth battle between McDonald and Carriasso. There's the right hand again.
If I was in McDonald's corner, I'd be screaming for him to take this guy down at this point. Because the stand-up exchanges, like as I said, they're real difficult to figure out who's winning it. I mean, if you favor kicks, you go with Carriasso. You favor punches, there he goes.
Yep.
And look at that, nice omoplata attempt right away by Carriasso. He's got to straighten those legs out, Mike, and control the right leg. Control that right leg. He's got an underhook on it. He needs to stay heavy on it. Straighten his legs out and control that arm. Grab a hold of the wrist, the right wrist of Michael McDonald as he's extending his legs out rather.
90 seconds, lots of time.
He also can, pulls it out. Very nicely done by McDonald.
McDonald stayed calm.
But I like how Carriasso hit it so quickly. Went right to it. The moment McDonald took him down, he looked for that, rolled it over the top, locked that foot underneath his knee.
So now the corner of Carriasso's talking about watch the shot. Because McDonald has, as you talked about, taken the opportunity to shoot and successfully take down his opponent a few times. And the last time he did it as a counter. Slipped a punch and shot the takedown. Under a minute now. This has really been a chess match. Kicks against counters. Ground game a little bit. Carriasso. First punch was to the body. Under 30. McDonald lunges forward. 15 seconds. Final 10 seconds of this fight. Watch for a shot. fight goes the distance.
Great fight.
Good job, Mike. Hey, good job, man. Good job.
Let's take a look at that takedown by Michael McDonald that Carriazo immediately turned into an omoplata submission. Look how he rolls here. Keep an eye on his leg, his left leg. Look how quickly he did that. Very, very nicely done. If he had only controlled the wrist and extended his legs, he could have possibly either have submitted McDonald or got him in a real bad situation there. But I like the speed in which he locked up this technique. McDonald was able to pull out of it, but he hit it very quickly. Obviously, he's trained it, and he was looking for it.
Bruce Buffer has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. The judges score this contest 30-27, Carriazo, 29-28, McDonald, and 29-28 for the winner by split decision, Michael Mayday McDonald.
Split decision victory for Michael McDonald. One of the most powerful members of the UFC's lightweight division, Gleison Tibau, is ever evolving, and he'll look to showcase his growing skill set tonight against Hamill Oliveira. Two of Brazil's most respected lightweights, Hamill Oliveira and Gleison Tibau, meet tonight in an interesting stylistic clash bound to produce fireworks. Returning to the octagon for the first time in over a year, Oliveira is sporting a 4-fight winning streak and the desire to make a mark in the UFC's 155-pound division. Hard-charging Gleison Tibau shares a similar goal, and with wins in 3 of his last 4 fights, including a victory over Kurt Pellegrino, you know he's not about to put out the welcome mat for the tractor. Our tale of the tape for this lightweight fight. A battle of Brazilians. Tibau, 27 years old. Oliveira, 2 years his elder. Tibau, 2 inches taller. Reach is virtually identical. The veteran voice of the octagon, Bruce Buffer.
And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Kim Winslow.
Kim Winslow, our referee. Lightweight matchup between Gleison Tibau and Hamill Oliveira. Oliveira in the white trunks, black trunks for Tibau.
Now, Gleison Tibau is always thought of as one of the very biggest 155-pounders in the division, just a huge guy before he makes his initial weight cut. And what's significant about this bout is that he took this fight in about 3 weeks' notice. Normally it takes 6 to 8 weeks to trim down from his walking around weight, which can be as high as 190 or more, to get down to 155. He was 188 3 weeks out. But you know what? It's different guys can make weight cuts in a different way, and Gleison's very comfortable cutting a lot of weight.
And coming off a very impressive performance against Kurt Pellegrino back in Newark.
Yeah, he's got a lot of momentum behind him, you know, and he would love to carry that forward tonight.
Kind of late replacement against late replacement, Joe, as Oliveira stepped in as well. Got the call to fight, was very excited to go.
And one of the things we've really seen Gleison improve upon in the last year or so is his stand-up. He was always a very strong grappler and, you know, an excellent Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu stylist, but what we see lately from him is much smoother boxing technique, much more relaxed shoulders, much more fluid movement with his striking.
He's always, I would think, probably going to be considered a power striker, but if you don't try to power through every strike, your cardio gets a lot better. And that's what we saw in the last few fights from Tibau.
Beautiful takedown attempt. And this is also a battle of 2 very talented Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts when it comes to the ground. And you see that there, Oliveira, beautiful sweep attempt there using the butterfly, got back to his feet. Just letting Gleison know this fight goes to the ground, it ain't no picnic.
Oliveira's last UFC appearance was March of 2010 in Charlotte, North Carolina. He's won 4 straight fights since then. He's kept busy and he's been successful. Pushes forward with the combination.
Yeah, and his last fight against Andre Winter just was really having a hard time with the stand-up techniques of Winter, who's one of the fastest guys and most technical strikers at 155. So Oliveira's been really tightening up that aspect of his game.
And Tebow has fought Oliveira's teammate Jim Miller, one of the top fighters at 155 in the UFC.
Yeah, Jim Miller's just been on a tear lately. I love watching that kid fight. And he's another guy that is moving very close to a shot at the title.
And congratulations to his older brother Dan and his wife on the birth of their child here recently.
Both great guys, too.
You want to talk about any place, anytime, anywhere? No question they have that attitude. Under 2 on the clock here in round 1. Oliveira moving around, utilizing a lot of footwork. Oh, just got out of the way of that big left hand of Gleison Tebow.
And he clipped him with that left. Now, when they go to the ground, though, notice Oliveira doesn't rest. Holds the position. He's in half guard here. And the moment he gets an opportunity, he will scoot his hips out, move that left knee through or right knee through. And you see him already doing that, making Gleison uncomfortable on top, shifting his weight. It'll be very hard for Gleison to hold him down.
Back to guard.
And Gleison is, trying to stop all this by punching him and moving him, but immediately Oliveira gets some distance between them. He's pushing off of his legs, and he stands right back up to his feet. But he gets clipped with a nice left hand there by Gleison. Nice short left hand. The reason why that left hand was there is because there was no windup, because he threw it right from the chamber.
And that's the developing technical part of his striking that you talked about.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really a perfect example of where you can see the improvement.
Tebow, very impressed with Oliveira taking the fight on short notice, and they grew up pretty close in different neighborhoods in Brazil, and a lot of mutual respect between these two men, Joe. Final seconds of round 1, left hand connected, Oliveira. 10.
Very close and entertaining first round.
The corner of Gleison Tebow.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Muito bom.
Very good. That was really good. Now you just got to play a little bit more to your right. On their second step, you can hit him. Use your left cross, and you're going to catch him. Keep moving your head. Move to your right, give 2 steps to the back.
No chão, olha só. Ele tá querendo botar o ganchinho para te levantar. Fica na meia, entendeu? Se der, passa. Se ele botar aquele joelhinho ali,
on the ground, he's trying to hook you to get your back up.
Vai direto pro lado, tá?
Just break your hips and go to the...
Back up, please. Back up. Ready? Ready? Fight!
Start of round number 2. Oliveira in the white trunks, Tebow the southpaw in the black trunks. Good, crisp, straight left. Hands in the right spot, Joe. He's getting to the target much quicker.
Yeah, he just looks so much more fluid on his feet as opposed to his first few bouts in the octagon.
Trying to work the neck. Good knee by Oliveira. Oliveira circling away from that left hand of Tebow.
Oliveira likes that inside leg kick, Mike. We're not seeing too much of that from him. but he, especially when he fights southpaws, likes to attack that front leg. I think he's a bit worried about that takedown, though.
Yep.
That's it. That's good movement. That's it again. Get away from that hand, Rocky. Go left.
And with both of these men being so highly skilled on the ground, both black belts in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, good counter left.
That's it. Two good punches.
We thought we might see a lot of this, and that is the battle of the stand-up game.
You see the takedown, you get a hop. Press him, Rocky. Press him. Good.
Oliveira's corner really imploring him to be more aggressive and get more busy.
Mike Constantino saying, if you see the takedown, take it. And it's his opponent who does that. T-Bow drove through the hips, closed guard.
Watch the eyes.
Inside position.
Watch the eyes.
Inside position. Box him up.
Gleison T-Bow is also one of those rare Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts that's also very proficient at wrestling. Was a state champion in Brazil. Arm triangle attempt here. Oliveira shucks it off very nicely.
Chest match here.
Back up to the feet. Oliveira is very, very difficult to hold down, Mike, and you notice that. And now he's got a takedown attempt of his own, grabbing a single here. Let's see if he can snap him out and turn the corner. He's trying to put some weight on it. Good takedown defense by T-Bow, though. And as we said,
he clocked him! That short left hand, trying to finish this fight. Jones, that short left hand. You talked about it earlier.
Yeah, and very important that he did it short.
Boom.
And that was where the success of it came from, that just tiny opening that you could, he's got a back mount here. Oliveira's in trouble, bleeding out of his nose here, Mike. Some of those big shots from T-Bow. And T-Bow sneaking him in under his arms.
Those are getting through.
He's trying to flatten him out here.
And a lot of time on the clock here in round 2.
Yeah, this is a terrifying situation here for Oliveira. T-Bow with a very strong back mount, Mike. He's not letting him off of this at all.
And it all started with a big left hand.
Yeah, and he's really leaking out of that nose. Oh, he sneaks it under. T-Bow's got it.
Trying to choke him out. It's all over.
Nice. Very nicely done.
Winner by submission.
And it was those short punches, Mike, that opened up that opportunity. He was able to capitalize on the smallest of windows. Let's see that again here. And there it is. You see that short punch. And there's another beautiful one by Gleison T-Bow. And here we see it again. There's the uppercut. And Oliveira clearly in trouble. His legs give out. T-Bow jumps on him. And then here's the end. He made him think about all those punches and then opened up the opportunity for the choke.
Gleison T-Bow. Winner by rear naked choke. Set up with some really good strikes. Bruce Buffer has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Kim Winslow has called a stop to this contest at 3 minutes, 28 seconds of the second round, declaring the winner by tap out due to a rear naked choke, Gleison T-Bow.
Second straight win. Here's Joe.
All right, I'm here with the winner, the ever-improving Gleison T-Bow. Tremendous performance, Gleison. And one of the things that we really noticed tonight is the crispness of your striking. Your striking is really improving, and it was just a short opening that was available to you, and you really capitalized on it nicely.
Treinei muito meu strike, treinei da América Top Team. Então, agradecer meu strike, Catel. Tá me afiando, me deixando cada vez melhor para lutar qualquer outra categoria e pro título do UFC.
I'm training a lot of striking. Thanks so much to my coach, especially Catel Kubis. I've been training my strike, and then I'm getting prepared for my title. I'm coming.
Well, if you see at the end of the fight, you opened him up with those strikes, and as soon as you got his back mount, as soon as you got those strikes in, you cleared that opening for the choke, really mixed it up very nicely, and got that submission victory.
Tô muito feliz. Eu falei que ia afiar meu chão. Só tenho a agradecer ao mestre Parrupa. Tá me deixando justo e cada dia melhor. E vamos pro título.
Thanks so much to my coach Parrupa, Master Parrupa. He's getting me sharp like this, and then you just need to wait, and more is coming.
Congratulations, outstanding performance. Clayson Tebow, ladies and gentlemen.
9th win inside the octagon for the Brazilian. Winner of 4 of his last 5 fights, Tim, the Barbarian Boach, has used the relocation of his training camp to the Pacific Northwest to great effect in the last 2 years. But his transformation isn't done yet, as he will make his middleweight debut tonight against Kendall Grove. And given his well-rounded and exciting style, Boach's arrival at 185 means more great fights for UFC fans.
Making my debut at middleweight, I want everyone to see just how explosive I am and how dangerous I am at this weight. And I'm going to do that by finishing Kendall Grove.
Whether he's on the winning or losing side of the ledger, when Kendall Grove steps into the octagon, you are guaranteed to have something to talk about. But in 2011, Grove is more determined than ever to find the consistency he's been seeking. And he's ready to make an example out of Tim Boach.
Tonight I plan on using my reach against Boach, keeping him at bay and knocking his ass out.
Our tale of the tape, 28-year-old against 29-year-old. There's the big difference, 6'6", 6 foot, 79-inch reach for Kendall Grove. Here is Bruce Buffer.
And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Steve Mazzagatti.
Steve Mazzagatti, our referee. The beautiful Brittany. Great to be here in Las Vegas. MGM Grand Garden Arena.
Here we go. Bring it on. Come on.
Here we go. In the white trunks is the Spider, Ultimate Fighter winner, Kendall Grove, 6'6", against Tim Boach, fighting at 185 for the first time since his college wrestling days.
And I think that's an excellent move for Boach. Boach is he's a real gorilla at 205, and at 185, I think it's really the perfect weight class for his frame. And look at him, he's muscling Grove around here early in the fight.
Powerful ground and pound possessed by Tim Boach. He has finished 11 of his 12 wins. Very strong. He spent a lot of time, even though he's from Pennsylvania, in the Pacific Northwest training with Matt Hume in Seattle.
Yeah, and Matt is one of the premier strategists in mixed martial arts. A great man to have in your corner. And I'm really curious to see what sort of adjustments he's made to Boach's game.
Well, Boach said one thing pre-fight, Joe. He said he wants to come out and just dictate. Dictate the ground, dictate the stand-up game, dictate the pace, the pressure. Doesn't matter what, he just wants to dictate this fight. And take it to Grove.
Good head position. Make her move. Make her move up that stand.
Kendall, the tallest fighter in the UFC's middleweight division, and right down again and into side control.
I mean, after coming from 205, fighting Phil Davis in his last fight, guys like Kendall are going to really seem light to him. And again, Boach is always a very strong guy at 205, but was never real lean and always looked like he had the frame to make 185. And I think this is a tremendous move for him.
He spent a lot of his, lifetime competing, if it's wrestling or MMA, Joe, fighting bigger guys. Fought as a heavyweight in college because he could, is what he said at Lock Haven University. The one thing he did get is no break in the reach advantage, though, going against the tallest fighter at 185.
Kendall's setting him up here, setting him up for an armbar. And there he switches it over, and he will turn it into a triangle as well, but lost it. Good job by Boach. Excellent posture, stayed smart there, was very aware.
Always got to watch those long legs of Kendall.
Kendall is excellent off of his back.
Keep his head to the cage. Keep his head to the cage. Keep his
And Bosch has got to watch those stomps too. If those extend his knee, they can do a lot of damage.
Want him up, Tim? There you go, Mazzagatti asks. He says yes. Here we go. Looking to take him down again.
Take that arm out of your body. Take that arm off your body.
Under 2.
Take his head. Take his head. Take the hands.
Kendall looking for a guillotine attempt here. Not sure if he's got the neck in deep enough. But Kendall has excellent technique, all sorts of chokes, and really surprises a lot of guys because he's 6'6". He's able to snake those arms through and catch chokes at angles where they're not available to a lot of other guys.
Kendall coming in, talked about wanting to keep this fight standing, especially with that 6-inch reach advantage. Good shot to the body.
Kendall looking to take Bosch down here. I like what he's doing here, Mike, keeping his head firmly placed against Bosch's face, not allowing Bosch to get any leverage on him.
Justin McCulley, the head trainer for Kendall these days, who has opened his own gym in Maui. He spent a lot of time with BJ Penn, some time here at Extreme Couture. Season 3 Ultimate Fighter winner with Tito Ortiz as his head coach.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to believe, but Kendall's only 28 years old, and so a lot of people don't realize he's had so many fights both in the UFC and outside the UFC, but he won the Ultimate Fighter back in 2006.
With very little professional experience, he was somewhat of the Cinderella story.
Great first round.
Relax and breathe. Relax and breathe. You want to give yourself water, or you want me to give you? Pull his neck down, wipe his head off with it a little bit. Okay. You've got everything you want on him here, okay? Yeah. When you take him down, he has nothing. You're passing guard on the takedown, okay? And then he's kind of curling up.
Tim Bosch at 185 pounds is a gorilla. And here we see here how easily he slams Kendall Grove to the mat and controls him. And here's a second takedown here. Snatches those legs out and moves into side control.
Hey, get after him, all right? Behind the jab, nice and long, nice and long. All right, round 2, guys. Bring it on, come on.
Round 2. Grove takes the center of the octagon. Kendall. Trying to keep Boach outside with that long reach, just pumping that jab out there.
The real question as this fight goes in the second and third rounds, as far as Bosch goes, is what was this cut like for him? You know, this is the first time making 185 pounds. We don't know really what he was walking around at before he made it. He looks lean. If you look at him, it looks like he did it all the right way. But oftentimes, the first time a guy gets down to a lower weight class, it's a taxing affair on him. And the gap between 185 and 205 is a significant one. 20 pounds is that's a leap.
Some of the members of his camp said he wasn't loving the last couple hours of the cut. And as I mentioned, first time at 85 since college.
But, you know, as we said, you know, when you look at his body at 205, he clearly carried around plenty of excess fat. And, you know, this will certainly be the optimum weight class for his frame once he settles into it. But oftentimes, like back when Rich Franklin fought at 185 for the first time, didn't look nearly as good. Then you see him, again, takes Kendall down easily. Took Rich Franklin quite a while before he adjusted to that significant cut.
Rich Franklin, when he was at 185, was generally the grumpiest man at weigh-ins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a hard cut for him. Again, especially the first time.
Good position here for Boach. Good short elbows. Looking to take the arm. A lot of time on the clock here in round 2. Both men realize the importance of a victory tonight, Joe.
Yeah, side control here for Bosch, and he is controlling Kendall and beating him up here from this position. Staying very heavy on him.
Push your guard, push his face, push his hips. He's gonna be inside, step by step.
And for Bosch to go from, you know, a really strong, powerful, big guy like Phil Davis to Kendall Grove must be quite a difference.
Midway point of the fight.
Kendall gets up, very nicely done.
Boach looking for a leg.
And again, takes him right down into side control.
Outstanding wrestler.
He just seems so much stronger, Mike.
Lock Haven University, Division II and Division III in most sports, but a D1 powerhouse in wrestling. He once trained in his Pennsylvania garage, and now Tim Boach trains with one of the best in the business, Matt Hume.
He's just so heavy on Kendall here. Very good at keeping weight on Kendall, controlling the position.
Heavy towards the hand. Keep heavy on the upper body. Heavy on the upper body so he bears the weight.
Trying to get those knees.
You keep hearing Matt Hume in the corner saying heavy on the upper body. He wants Kendall Grove to be forced to carry the weight of Tim Bosch.
Control his hand. Control his hand. Tim Bosch, go ahead and dump him again. Lock his heel.
And every single attempt that Bosch has made to drag this fight to the mat, he's been successful. And there, look how easily he clasps his hands together. And it's just a matter of him standing up here and turning towards the center of the cage and dropping Kendall down.
Well, as you said earlier, Joe, what a difference in attempting to take down Kendall Grove and in attempting to take down Phil Davis.
Yeah, huge difference. And that's what weight classes are made for, folks.
Exactly, and there's no disrespect for Kendall there. It's just the fact that he's not Phil Davis.
Listen, Kendall's still very dangerous, especially off of his back. As you see him rotating his hips, keep an eye on Kendall's left leg. If Kendall can get that left leg locked onto that shoulder right there, this presents some unusual opportunities here because of Kendall's long legs. But Bosch just shakes him right off. It's going to be harder for Kendall to secure those submissions also now that we're in the second round and both guys are really sweaty.
Final seconds of round number 2.
Kendall looks very frustrated, Mike, coming into his corner.
Okay.
The takedowns of Bosch have really been the significant aspect of this fight.
All right? He is not better than you, okay?
Justin McCauley.
You're allowing him to get some positions. You're allowing him to take these positions, and we're wasting our clock. You got 5 minutes to get to work right now, okay? You get out there and you spend yourself, all right? You give it everything you have right now, and you get this victory, okay? You get out there, you get in a bad position. Yes, sir. You get in a bad position, you keep attacking, and you keep scrambling. You empty your clip in this last 5 minutes. I'd like to see you keep this at a striking distance. Stay on the outside of this guy. Get in with the low leg kicks, but come back upstairs with your hands. They're there for you, Kendall. Your body's in shape, all right? Let it happen. Go out there and make it happen. You got it?
Yeah.
Empty your clip. Leave it all inside the octagon.
You're going to get him, Tim. Keep on it.
Excellent advice. But the real problem is the wrestling of Tim Bosch.
Five minutes remain in this fight.
Last round. Bring it on. Come on.
Let's see if Kendall is able to keep it at striking range, as Justin McCauley talked about. Let's see if he tries to pick up the pace. Trying to avoid that single.
Yeah, that's the problem. The wrestling of Tim Bosch is so dominant here at 185 pounds.
No surprise when asked who his hero is. Tim Boach said Dan Gable. the Olympian, longtime Iowa head coach, legend in the sport of wrestling. Boach grew up in a small town in the state of Maine. When his brother was in high school, Tim would go to wrestling practice with him. That time, Tim was in 2nd grade, 3rd grade, and so he basically grew up on the mat. And we've seen the wrestling be the difference so far in this fight tonight.
Well, Kendall has Tim pressed up against the cage briefly, and look at that beautiful throw.
Trying to pin that arm down.
And again, inside control, and Kendall's trying to swing that left leg over. Keep an eye on that left leg.
Working on that neck.
Both just so strong here. Nice knee to the body. Kendall's almost to his feet. And he's up, and he eats a knee in the process. He's got to spin out away from that cage, and he does.
All right. Again, all over that leg, all over the single.
This time,
so far.
This time, though, he stuffed the takedown. This could be Bosch getting tired. And Kendall's got an opportunity here. He's got to open up with those knees, Mike.
A little bit of blood under the right eye of Kendall Grove. Good jab. Again, he goes right for that left leg. And completes the takedown.
Triangle attempt. He's got to get his left arm through the right. He wants to keep it on top of the neck of Tim Bosch, and Tim's trying to shake it off, and he does. Kendall trying to take him down now.
Kendall is the definition of a scrappy Hawaiian, and that kind of fight attitude is what earns him the honor of being considered one of the ultimate fighters.
He's going for it, but 2 rounds of having Tim Bosch drag you to the ground and beat on you is exhausting. And Kendall's suffering from the effects of that right now. I'll tell you what, though, I think we've seen a new force at 185 pounds. I think Tim Bosch down at this weight class can make a significant impact. He's got a serious skill set and a lot of strength that he carries into the middleweight division, and he's going to give a lot of guys some fits.
"90 seconds.
Arm triangle possibility here by Bosch. There it is again. If he wants it, gets that left arm underneath the head of Kendall Grove. He might be trying to pin that arm down for something else. Kendall moves it into full guard. Kendall's got to attack off his back. He's controlling the posture. He's got to throw those legs up, Mike. Get that high guard working. He's trying. Again, Bosch just too strong, too aware of what's going on.
Very controlling.
Kendall's trying to get back up to his feet, and Kendall's got a hold of Bosch's legs. Can he complete it? He does.
Can he do any damage? That's the big question.
Well, he's got him on the ground. He's got him on his back. And Bosch reverses the position, and Bosch is looking for a choke. Bosch is looking for a front headlock here.
30 seconds.
Tough to see how Bosch has his hands clasped here, but it doesn't look like he has his, no, he doesn't.
15.
His left and right are not connected. He's gonna spin to a Kimura attempt. Stays on top.
Final seconds of this middleweight matchup.
Great performance by Tim Bosch, and as I said, I think we have just seen a new entry into the list of tough guys at 185 pounds.
Boach hoping he has earned his 4th UFC victory. goes the distance against Kendall the Spider Grove. Frustrated Grove. Just so powerful, as Joe talked about with his wrestling.
Yeah, over and over again, Tim Bosch was able to take Kendall Grove to the ground. Kendall just had no answer to the wrestling and the power of the Barbarian Bosch. Look at that beautiful judo throw right there. Beautiful hip toss on top, always in side control, just dropping punches down on Kendall, constantly frustrating him, constantly making him carrying his weight.
Yes.
Fantastic performance by Tim Bosch.
We await the judge's decision. And Bruce Buffer has it. Here is Bruce Buffer with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. All 3 judges score this contest 30-27, declaring the winner by unanimous decision, Tim the Barbarian Bosch.
No surprise, dominant performance in his middleweight debut.
All right, I'm here with the winner, Tim the Barbarian Bosch. Tim, outstanding debut at middleweight. Have you been thinking about dropping down to 185 for a while now?
I sure have. And Phil Davis really affirmed my thoughts on dropping to middleweight. I'm certainly glad I did. Felt great in there, felt very strong.
Well, you looked really strong, and if you take a look at the big screen, we can see some of your handiwork. You were just tossing Kendall to the ground. I mean, I think you were at least 90% successful in your takedown attempts. Great positioning on the ground. Really looks like you found a home here at middleweight.
Absolutely. I'm definitely looking to make a run. Big thanks to Kendall. Excellent opponent, very tough. Knew he was going to come ready to fight, but Coach Matt Hume had me ready for him.
He was tough, which makes your victory ever more impressive. Congratulations. Look forward to seeing you again. Yeah, Tim Barbarian Bosch, ladies and gentlemen.
This battle, no doubt, will be contested at a frenetic pace, as former WEC champion Miguel Torres will try to hunt down Mighty Mouse, Demetrius Johnson. One of the bantamweight division's rising stars, Demetrius Johnson has gotten more and more impressive with each fight that he's waged on the big stage. And he's not about to slow down. Fresh from back-to-back wins over respected contender Damasio Page and Japanese superstar Kid Yamamoto, Johnson continues big game hunting tonight against Miguel Angel Torres.
Tonight I gotta get in there, use my speed, Muay Thai, wrestling, kickboxing, everything in my arsenal to put Miguel Torres away tonight.
A longtime staple on the pound-for-pound list, former WEC bantamweight champion Miguel Angel Torres was forced to regroup after losses to Brian Bowles and Joseph Benavides. But with a change in training camp scenery from Indiana to Montreal, Quebec, and wins over Charlie Valencia and Antonio Banuelos, Torres is back where he belongs.
If Demetrius doesn't want to commit to come inside, he's going to be on the outside of my range the whole time. I'm looking to knock him out in the second round.
Our tale of the tape, Torres, 6 years the elder of Mighty Mouse. He is also 6 inches taller and will have a 10-inch reach advantage. Here is Bruce Buffer.
And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Josh Rosenthal.
Josh Rosenthal, our referee. The beautiful Brittany. UFC 130, MGM Grand Garden Arena.
You ready?
Torres
ready?
And Johnson. Here we go. White trunks for Torres. Gray trunks for Johnson. 2 quick kicks and he's in and out, Joe.
Yeah, and that is what he's going to try to use to negate the obvious height and reach advantage of Miguel Torres. If he does take Torres down, Torres has an excellent guard. Very good at fighting off of his back, both with chokes from the legs and the arms. Great guillotines. And there he goes. Takedown, and let's see what Torres can do off his back here. Sweeps. Immediately sweeps. And as we said, Torres is very dangerous off of his back. And in the past, Mike, one of the reasons why he never worked on his wrestling is he wanted guys to take him down. He would have guys take him down, and he would choke guys out from his back. Yep. So his idea was, look, if you stand up with me, I'm going to knock you out. Take me down, I'm going to choke you out.
And then Joseph Benavides came around.
Well, he realized that, you know, against the higher level wrestlers, you're really going to need other options. And it's always good to be able to decide that you don't want to go to the ground and to be able to defend. And so that's something that Firas Zahabi has really concentrated heavily on. As Miguel Torres tries to pass here, he tried to mount there for a second and tried also to move into side control.
And Zahabi hasn't just become a coach and a trainer. He's become a mentor and a friend. And Torres living in Montreal full time now. And I mean, not just finishing his game and changing things, Joe, but he's rewiring his instincts, his whole approach to fighting.
Well, Zahabi's a brilliant strategist, as is the coach of Mighty Mouse Johnson, Matt Hume. And I think at the highest levels of the game, you need that. You can't just get by on talent and technique. You need someone also who is objectively assessing your game and looking for what areas you can improve on. And kudos to Miguel Torres for not just recognizing that, but taking that, you know, that humble step to let himself be guided by one of the great strategists in the game, and, you know, allowing this guy to tell him what he's doing wrong. And Miguel said it's been very humiliating. Oh, he's going for a choke here. And Miguel has very long arms, Mike. He can catch some chokes from some crazy angles.
Free for now. And it doesn't hurt when you look at the men who train at TriStar.
Exactly.
Torres gets to battle them every day.
Yeah, and, you know, he also gets to see from the success of George St. Pierre, you know, that George trusts highly in Firas's opinions and his ideas. You know, and Miguel has talked about it, how, you know, Firas has talked about how many aspects of his game that are quote-unquote garbage that he needs to work on, and Miguel's working very hard to change that opinion.
38 wins, 31 finishes.
Side control again for Miguel Torres. Not good for Mighty Mouse Johnson here.
And this certainly negates the speed if he can keep his opponent down.
Oh, reversed by the great Mighty Mouse.
Mighty Mouse, the winner of 3 straight fights, including that really strong performance against Kid Yamamoto.
Look at the legs of Torres, though. He's going to use them to try to sweep here. And look at that. Switches to a leg lock. Very dangerous situation here for Mighty Mouse Johnson. He's in a bad spot. This is a heel hook possibility here as well. For both men.
Under the near leg. Come up, push the leg up. Get up on top of it, push the leg up.
A little confusion there in the corner as Matt Hume tries to coach Mighty Mouse, but Mighty Mouse spins to Miguel's back here.
Very evenly matched, Johnson and Torres.
Torres in this position may like to stick a leg in between the 2 legs of Mighty Mouse Johnson and roll under Mike. Instead, he chooses to go to his back, and again, very dangerous guard of Miguel Torres.
Extremely active guard.
Mighty Mouse Johnson has got to keep his hands inside, make sure that his arms don't get trapped in any overhooks. He's got to be very careful of that right arm there. And Miguel Torres will switch his weight side to side, and as Mighty Mouse defends, that's when Torres will attack with submissions. See, he's leading him one way and then attacking another, and then he'll spin back again. Excellent off of his back. Miguel Torres is one of the best guards in MMA, in my opinion. He's going for a choke here attempt.
10 seconds.
Staying high on the neck. Not under the neck, though.
Miguel so active here in round 1, especially off his back.
Okay, relax and breathe. Okay. What he's doing in your guard, Deej, is he's tipping the shoulder and blocking your legs. So you got to stay out of his guard, okay? I want you to stay out of his guard. And I want you to work more on the feet, okay? But if you hit the ground and he balls up and goes to guard and he curls up and everything, you got to push his knees away, you got to circle out towards the head, and you can just come back to your feet too. Okay, let's work him on the feet a little bit. Breathe and relax, okay? I want you to work him on the feet. The leg kicks there all day. You hurt his leg with those first 2, and he started checking, okay? What do you do when someone checks?
Go through it or
body. Or
you're in the guard, off your back right away. You did beautiful, Miguel. You can do this. Let's do this.
Getting set for the start of the second round. Johnson and Torres. That kick was checked. Demetrius Johnson in the southpaw stance, trying to push forward. The counter by Torres. Johnson on the outside. Torres trying to cut off the octagon here. And it's Johnson who initiates the takedown. 23 career wins by submission.
Keep him off the spine, Miguel.
For Miguel Torres. Hammering that heel into his opponent.
Look at the long legs of Miguel Torres and how good he uses them to upset the balance and the weight of his opponent.
10-inch reach advantage in this fight. And it's not just on the feet, as you said, Joe. It's in this game, too.
Yeah, he rolled over here and used it to sweep him, and he gets back up to his feet. And the reason why he got out of that was because he was going for a triangle there, and when Mighty Mouse defended, he was able to turn him over.
Clinch game. Mighty Mouse again drives through the hips. Rapidly rising star, and Johnson realizes that a win over Miguel Torres could be an early career-defining moment.
Yeah, but he's eating some elbows off of his back, and again, constantly defending the attacks of Miguel Torres. Miguel doesn't let you rest on top of him. And look at that, beautiful sweep by Torres. Beautiful butterfly sweep, and then look at that. Mighty Mouse puts him right back down. Reverse triangle possibility here. He's got it locked on. Not good for Mighty Mouse. Miguel Torres is an assassin off of his back.
Torres looking to finish this fight with 3 left in the second. Trying to control Mighty Mouse, Demetrius Johnson.
He lost the triangle possibility.
Johnson fights through it.
Didn't quite feel like he had it secured there. Decided to let it go. Now he's trying to shove his arm through and get a choke. Can't get that, so he will attack with elbows. Again, constantly moving, boxing the ears, always pushing, and wearing Demetrius out. As Demetrius is on top of him, he's the one who's actually being forced to work by Miguel Torres. And that's the advantage that Torres has of being so good off of his back. The Mighty Mouse would like to try to pass here, but he's got to be careful he doesn't get swept.
Went nearly 6 years unbeaten at one point in his career. Miguel Torres. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt under the late Carlson Gracie.
And you hear, get your elbows in by Hume. This is the last thing he wants is this Kimura attempt here by Miguel Torres. If Miguel can lace his hands up together and get that double wrist lock position, this could be a very bad situation for Mighty Mouse. Mighty Mouse has got his arm out of it for now, but again, Torres continuing to roll and attack. And every time Mighty Mouse makes some sort of a movement to try to pass, it's stifled by Torres. And keep an eye on the body, the butterfly hooks of Torres, because he's been successful several times of sweeping him.
Trying to position himself again, be active on his back, use those long legs to try to submit Demetrius Johnson. Just about a minute left now in round number 2.
Even though Miguel Torres, I think, is forcing Mighty Mouse to work here, and Mighty Mouse really isn't doing anything offensively to him in this spot, he's got to look at the fact that the judges are going to notice that Mighty Mouse is on top. It shouldn't mean as much as it does, but it is scored very highly. Look at that, beautiful hop out by Johnson. Johnson spins for a leg, but he leaves his own leg open to Torres.
Got it brief, at least for now.
And Torres tries to do something with his legs here on Mighty Mouse's neck, but can't do it, and Mighty Mouse now moves into side control.
20 seconds.
Great for him. To finish this round out like this will be huge for Mighty Mouse.
Mighty Mouse looking for the neck.
Yeah, he's got to at least try to keep this dominant position. Now he's in half guard, but if he can, finish up with some shots, this can seal him the round.
Round 2 coming to conclusion.
Put ice on it. Put ice on it. Put ice on it.
Left, right foot.
Yeah, my right.
Okay,
shin.
listen. You're killing him standing.
Water.
You got to forget about it. You're killing him standing. You were smoking him standing. You just got to keep going in the stand-up. You can't match your footwork.
I know.
You go in, out, you can hit him.
I know.
Can you move on your leg?
A little. It's hurting. All right, but I'll do my job.
Okay, listen. The only thing you have to, DJ, you can beat him standing. If you're going to take him down, you can't.
And here we see Torres with the beautiful butterfly sweep. And here he gets reversed by Mighty Mouse. And here again, Torres utilizing those long legs and leverage, attacks with a leg lock, tries to switch it to a heel hook.
Demetrius Johnson telling Matt Hume, I'll do my job.
Yeah, it appears he's hurt his foot.
Yep, I think it's the back leg, it's his right leg. I noticed it a little bit early in the second round, Joe. But, I love that. That's a fighter right there. I'll do my job. I'll get through it. And this is a very close fight with 5 minutes remaining.
And Mighty Mouse looking for the takedown and gets it.
Very
again,
good wrestler.
Torres attacking off of his back, wants to try to make something happen. Trying to pry an arm free so that he can perhaps secure a triangle position, has one leg over the shoulder. Would like to pull that arm out, Mike. If he can pull that arm out, he will secure one of his feet under one of his knees and attempt to attack with either a triangle or switch it up to an arm bar. But Mighty Mouse very aware of this situation, wants to keep his arm from being extended. Now Torres hooks it underneath the thigh and makes it even more difficult for Mighty Mouse. The long legs of Miguel Torres is such an awesome advantage when he's in these sort of battles.
5'9", 135.
And he's moving to the back as well. And we'll switch to an armbar. Good defense here by Mighty Mouse.
Get heavier, scoot back and get heavy. Heavy on his hips.
Talking about staying heavy on the hips of Torres. The corner of Demetrius Johnson.
Mighty Mouse moves into side control. Very nicely done.
Trying to keep that left arm of Torres pinned.
And Torres did an excellent job there of capturing one of those legs with his leg and switching, rolling. Look at how he did that. Rolled the hips and moved right back into full guard.
Bring your elbow inside, control short arms.
Just over 3 on the clock in this fight.
Young fighters can really learn a lot watching Torres and his technique off of his back. Makes it very difficult for fighters to pass, very difficult for them to relax as well.
Keep your hands down in your knees. There you go. Take inside, huh?
What people are seeing here is Mighty Mouse on top. And for the judges, that means everything. Now Mighty Mouse, now be careful with Miguel Torres here, because what Torres is going to try to do, Mike, is he's got one leg in between two legs. He's going to try to roll into an armbar, and Mighty Mouse recognized that, and they was able to roll with him and stay on top.
It's been a good third round for Demetrius Johnson. Mighty Mouse, he's kind of dictated where this fight has taken place, and they both try to continue this chess match.
Well, Torres had an opening right there and hesitated a bit. Beautiful sweep into full mount. Nicely done by Miguel Torres. That was brilliant, Mike. That was technique right there.
Hands on the hips. Hands on the hips. Get your knee in. Pop the hips and get your knee in. Pop the hips and get your knee in.
Miguel's really got him locked up here, and Torres is going to try to hold him into this position until he can figure out some sort of an attack, as he's defending the attempts by Mighty Mouse's legs. Mighty Mouse is trying to get out of the spots. He keeps pushing on the legs, hip escaping, wants to get a knee up, and he turns and he moves to a leg lock. Look at that. Very nicely done by Mighty Mouse.
Yep, Hume said pop the hips, get the leg, and he didn't even more.
That was great speed and technique.
Demetrius Johnson, 13-1 in his MMA career.
This is a very tricky fight to score, Mike. Miguel staying on top here. I know Miguel would like to try some sort of a finish attempt here. Does not want to leave it in the hands of the judges. Has a potential arm triangle on the right side, but Mighty Mouse realizing that. See how he dropped his elbow there and positioned it between the neck and his body. Guillotine attempt by Torres.
30 seconds left in the fight.
Into full mount.
Look at the battle back and forth.
Oh,
and he's
Mighty
out
Mouse
again.
is out. And
but
again,
just for now.
But Torres attacks on the other side.
This is, Joe, as you said, a very closely contested matchup. 15 seconds, head kick. Mighty Mouse pushes forward. Torres pins him against the cage.
What a scrap. Mighty Mouse is going for it.
They are going to go the distance. Big takedown late. Judges will render their decision.
Great fight.
Didn't even start bleeding again after that first round.
We await the judge's decision. Mighty Mouse Demetrius Johnson. Constant movement. Explosive takedowns. And another good performance in the octagon. Miguel Torres had Demetrius Johnson in a bad spot in that third round. Johnson fought through it. Now the fighters await the decision.
Dude, these little guys make me work. Am I sweating yet? Gentlemen.
Bruce Buffer has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges score this contest 29-28, declaring the winner by unanimous decision, Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson.
Big victory here tonight for Demetrius Johnson. It is great to be back here in Las Vegas, inside the MGM Grand Garden Arena. This is UFC 130, Rampage versus Hamill. Let's get things started. We begin at what happened in the world of mixed martial arts since George Santiago's last appearance in the octagon in 2006. Brian Stann went from rookie to WEC champion to UFC middleweight contender. And Santiago went from raw talent to legitimate title threat. Tonight, these 2 men meet to find out who will move their career forward.
George Santiago is known for having great battles in Japan. He's a guy who's become synonymous with Fight of the Years and Fight of the Night candidates. I don't think this fight's going to be any different. This is going to be the best fight on this card tonight.
I know he's very good, but I know I have more skills than him, and I'm ready to prove it to the fans that I belong in the UFC.
After struggling in his first stint in the UFC, Brazil's George Santiago went back to the drawing board, changed his training and his approach to the sport, and the result has been an 11-1 run that has put him among the elite middleweights in the world. The next step is to come full circle by testing himself against the best in the octagon.
I see this fight tonight going with my arm raised by the end of the first round by knockdown or submission. 100% one or the other is going to happen today.
Brian Stann's move to the middleweight division from light heavyweight in 2010 was met with many questions. But after the United States Marine Corps veteran submitted Mike Macenzio and knocked out Chris Lieben, the only question left was how long until the All-American is in title contention. Tonight, we might just find out.
Everyone comes to the UFC to be a champion. That's definitely my goal. George Santiago's a guy that I need to beat to get one step closer to a title shot.
Our tale of the tape. Look at this, just about as even as it can be. Stan and Santiago ready to get things started. With that, here's Bruce Buffer.
And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Herb Dean.
Herb Dean, our referee. The beautiful Brittany. Shondella Ariani. Here in Las Vegas. Brian Stan.
You ready to fight? Ready. Let's do it.
George Santiago, here we go. Black trunks for Stan, white trunks for Santiago. Stan really wants to push the pace early.
Yeah, it's apparent right away that he wants to put a lot of pressure on Santiago. If there's been a knock on Santiago, it's not that he's not talented. He's extremely talented. It's that he has a hard time taking a big shot. He's been stopped several times before, including twice in a row in the UFC in his initial run. And Brian Stan has big power.
Joe, and you and I talked about it during the walk-ins of the Lieben fight. You know, Brian Stan kept saying, hey, I'll go and I'll punch. I'll trade punches with Chris Lieben, which is dangerous for anybody. Not only did he do it, he did it with success.
Well, Brian Stan can take it as well, and that's one of the most important things. If you want to go in there and sling leather, you got to be able to receive it, and Brian has an outstanding chin.
Two very aggressive fighters, Santiago and Stan. And Stan really pleased with the fact that he's so much more well-rounded than he was earlier in his career.
Well, we've seen it, you know. I mean, when he was fighting as a WEC light heavyweight, he was just sort of a brawler. Had big power, but it wasn't nearly as technically proficient as he is now. And as I said, I think a big turning point was the submission victory over Mike Macenzio. Mike Macenzio is a very well-respected Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu artist, and to have a guy like Brian Stan catch him off his back in a triangle late in the fight, that was a huge feather in his cap. Bit of a cut under the left eye of Brian Stan, not sure exactly where that came from.
Good kick a moment ago by Santiago. Two minutes into the first of 3 5-minute rounds.
Santiago looking for that straight right hand, Mike.
Yeah, he's trying to find a home. And again, he looked for it, Joe.
Yeah, well, Brian Stan is dropping that left. As Brian Stan moves in, he's keeping his left fairly low. And it could be to try to lead. Nice leg kick. It could be to try to lead Santiago into throwing that punch.
Head kick. Both men firing with the legs. And a second ago, the key to the leg kick for Stan was he got all the momentum of the body going with a combination. And again, same thing, Joe. It sets your opponent up, and it also gets that hip turning. Stan looking for that same combination. Starts with the right, then the left hook, and then the kick. Got him with a big left. Stan all over him.
And that's what we were talking about, the chin of Santiago and the power of Brian Stan.
Brian Stan trying to finish this fight. Continuing to pound.
Santiago is still hurt, Mike.
Stan.
And Stan connected again.
Another right hand. With the left hook that rocked him.
And he's mixing it up nicely between hammer fists and elbows.
The combo was straight right, left hook kick, and that time it was the left hook.
Another hammer fist. Santiago's hurt.
Brian Stan looking to finish here in the first. Santiago trying to recover. Stan on top.
But Stan's still connecting with... These aren't full leverage shots, but they're enough to keep him screwy. For Santiago, it's very important here that he recovers, that he controls the amount of shots that he gets hit with here, and gets his head back under him.
Stan 4-1 since he began training with Greg Jackson and off to a great start here tonight.
Don't grab the fence, don't grab the fence.
Third fight at 185. Again, he powers through. Final
Santiago
seconds of the round.
Up to his feet.
Looks like he'll survive.
Looking very wobbly, though. Great first round for Brian Stann.
Three big ones.
Let's take a look at the big left hook that Brian Stann landed that started all this off. And here it is. Clipped Santiago right in the jaw. His legs gave out. And then we see it again, and Stann swarmed him. Unable to finish him off, but did a significant amount of damage, and very likely Santiago is still hurt.
2s and 3s, all right? Get off first, fakes and feints, 2s and 3s. What are you going to do? Fakes and feints, 2s and 3s. And get off first. Here's some water.
Hey, Brian, he's probably going to come and try to take you down, just so you know.
So that's why we have fakes and feints, okay? Fakes and feints.
Exactly what he did the damage with, Joe.
Okay, Jordan.
The 2-3.
You've been punching with open fingers. Close your hands when you punch. Okay. Out, out.
Herb D warning Santiago about open-handed attacks. And that's something we've had a real problem with. Guys getting accidentally poked in the eyes.
Let's see if Stann really pushes it here early. Thinking Santiago still might be a bit foggy. Feints and feints, 2s and 3s.
And there's the takedown attempt by Santiago.
Nicely handled by Brian Stann.
Well, they warned him of that in the corner.
Very good on the ground. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, Santiago.
Nice knee there by Santiago.
Stann shakes him aside. Brian said many times he felt he had the striking advantage in this matchup.
Another nice leg kick. Inside leg kick, and clipped him.
Stann is just so compact and powerful. To the body. Nice right hand by Santiago. Overhand right. Stann pushing forward again. 2-0 at 185, the All-American. Checked.
Santiago is yet to find his rhythm, Mike, on the feet. He's landed a couple of shots, but has never really gotten comfortable with the timing of Brian Stann.
Stuffed.
Watch the knees of Santiago here. Note Stan's hand to try to defend them.
Just over 3 on the clock here in round 2. Stann worked the body against Levin. He's working the kicks against Santiago.
Yeah, he's having a lot of success with that right leg kick. Santiago's looking for that straight left, and he lands a left hook.
Nice.
And Stann immediately comes back.
Yeah, Brian slipped and ripped there.
Oh, spinning back fist.
And Stann answers. Caught him with it though, Joe. Just past the midway point of this fight. Caught the leg. Wanted to throw that straight right.
That was a lazy leg kick by Santiago. His punches and his kicks are coming a bit slow here in the second. Seems like, you know, it could be that he's slowing down, or it could be that he's trying to lull Stann into a false sense of security by giving him a different timing to think about.
Yeah.
Santiago's a cagey guy.
He seems to always find a way to win, Joe.
Well, for those who haven't seen him at his best, you got to see some of his fights in Japan, specifically against Misaki. Incredible fight.
August of 2010, considered to be one of the best fights of that year. 90 seconds, another crisp combination from Stan.
Yeah, followed by that straight left jab.
He looked for the uppercut.
There's that flying knee attempt.
Pushed aside. Stan slipped and countered with an uppercut earlier. 70 seconds.
Santiago's trying to find his groove here. Another nice leg kick by Stan. He's landed so many of those. But he's standing straight up, Mike, and his hands are way down. Nice body kick.
Could see that left coming. 45.
He just has no respect for the power of Santiago.
No, he's standing in the pocket and he feels like there's no way he's going to get hurt. And there he rocks him again.
That's a big right hand.
Trying to finish this fight.
That's it.
It is all over. Brian Stan has finished George Santiago.
Santiago is still down and hurt. Man. Brian Stan's got a hell of a chin, and he's got some serious power. And we've seen some big, big improvements in his striking, and they were evident here tonight. There's a right hand to the temple. Santiago goes down, and Brian Stan swarms on him. An excellent stoppage by Herb Dean. He saw there that Santiago's eyes rolled behind his head. Let's see it again here, Mike. There's the right hand over the top, and Santiago goes down. Stan swarms on him. Outstanding.
Brian Stan continues to get better and better. He wins his third straight UFC match. The All-American finishes George Santiago with the official decision. Here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Herb Dean has called a stop to this contest at 4 minutes, 29 seconds of round number 2. Declaring the winner by TKO, All-American Brian Stan.
With the winner, Brian Stan. Brian, another spectacular fight at middleweight. How important is this victory for you, especially when we're here on Memorial Day weekend?
It's just vital. I mean, I use this as a symbol. All you families out there that have lost someone in combat, this weekend's all about you. So please, everybody, take some time this weekend. Remember what it's all about and thank those who sacrificed all for our freedoms and so we could do this great sport.
Now back to the fight. Ever since you've made this move to Greg Jackson's camp, we've seen a steady improvement in your technique, and we saw that here tonight. You hurt him badly in the first and then finished him off in the second. How happy are you with your performance tonight?
You know, I'm ecstatic. I'll tell you what, George Santiago is a true champion. You know, it's tough to transition right from Japan over here. He's going to make a legit shot at this title here. I'm just so grateful that he gave me the honor to fight him, but it was a huge move for me, and can't thank my coaches enough. Coach Winklejohn, Coach Bardis, Coach Jackson, and all my training partners there, Roberto Travin, Izzy, everybody who helped me out, thank you.
Congratulations on another spectacular victory. Brian Stan, ladies and gentlemen.
You know the old cliche about an irresistible force meeting an immovable object? Well, that cliche becomes a reality tonight when Muay Thai master Thiago Alves meets ultra-tough prospect Rick Story in one of the most highly anticipated welterweight bouts of the year.
Rick Story, he asked for this fight. He called me out. And, it gives me an extra edge, to go out there and finish this fight. I'm going to shut him up. I'm going to knock him out. And I'm going to send a message to everybody in the welterweight division. Don't call me out and be careful what you wish for.
I've won 5 UFC fights in a row, and it came time to call out the best person in line, and the best person in line is Alves. With me beating Alves, it's going to make a statement, and it's going to let everyone know I want a shot at the title.
Washington's Rick Story doesn't just want to win fights, but he wants to break your will before getting the victory. And in his last 5 bouts, he's had plenty of success in that area, as he's posted one of the sport's longest winning streaks in defeating the likes of Brian Foster, Dustin Hazlett, and Johnny Hendricks. Now, he looks to take down a contender in Thiago Alves.
I'm going to take it to Alves. He's shown before that he's quit, and I'm going to go in and help him quit. I'm going to go in, I'm going to push the pace on him and make him break.
A ferocious striker whose fiery fists, feet, and knees have stopped Matt Hughes, Carl Parisian, and Chris Lytle. Thiago Alves has long been one of the welterweight division's top talents. But in his UFC 124 win over John Howard, the Pitbull looked like he just might be entering his prime. A scary thought for all who fight at 170 pounds.
I've been imagining and visualizing the knockout since my last fight was over. You know, I'm very excited. I train really, really hard, and I'm gonna go for the finish. Either I'm gonna knock him out or I'm gonna submit him, but I won't go to decision this time.
Our tale of the tape for this welterweight fight, 27 against 26, 5'9", 5'10". Story with a small reach advantage. The veteran voice of the octagon, Bruce Buffer.
And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Kim Winslow.
Kim Winslow, our referee. Welterweight matchup between two men who love to stand and trade. Rick Story and Thiago Alves.
Are you ready? Fight!
White trunks for the Pitbull. Quickly with a crisp combination. Rick Story, leg kick.
Right hand landed by Thiago Alves. It was very short and crisp, but it was right on the jaw.
Both men will stand in the pocket. They will trade. Story looking for a takedown. Very good wrestler, Joe.
Very powerful man, too. One of the strongest guys at 170 pounds.
Rick Story wrestled at Pacific University his freshman year. Didn't have a lot of success by his senior year at Southern Oregon. He had 33 wins, and he was number 2 in the nation in his weight class. Spent some time in the National Guard, 12 wins in his MMA career.
Excellent knees to the thigh here by Story. He's really driving those home, and Thiago struggling to get back up to his feet. And Story is on him. He's got his back here. He laces in one hook. Oh, another knee to the thigh.
Perfectly
Vicious
placed.
knees. He's really getting those hips up high, Mike, and staying glued to Thiago. Oh, again, now he's attacking the calf.
Thiago tries to move that leg ever so slightly to avoid more damage. Story describes his fighting style as one of a Sherman tank. I think that's pretty accurate.
Very accurate. Loves to rip to the body and tight. Look at this, Thiago takes him down.
Thiago trying to get loose. Story on him, they break. Powerful start.
And this is where it's dangerous for Story, because Thiago is a much more technical striker than him. Story's very physically strong and powerful, but he's gonna leave some openings. The question is, can Thiago capitalize on those?
Story looking for the takedown here, Joe. The knee thrown by Rick Story. And the foot stomp. Trying to control Thiago Alves, take him down and beat him up. Such a powerful base possessed by Story. Controlling Alves nicely.
Rick Story's doing a great job of staying glued to Thiago Alves, minimizing the amount of time where Thiago's free to throw strikes.
Okay, guys, break. Come on, break.
They break. To the body. You talked about how Story likes to punish the midsection. Be interesting to see how many kicks Thiago throws because Rick Story's such a good takedown artist.
Good point, very good point. He just threw a knee there, and as soon as he did, Story locked up with him and pressed him up against the cage.
Thiago would like to defend the takedowns and make Rick Story pay. 90 seconds on the clock here in round 1.
So far, Story's done everything he wanted to do. He was able to take him down. He was able to control where this fight takes place. And he's done quite a bit of damage up against the cage, especially with those knees to the thigh. There's another knee to the body. And now Thiago turns him around briefly, and Story reverses it.
And Joe, you talked a lot about Thiago Alves and working with Mike Dolce and the Dolce diet and how his conditioning is better now. He recovers from the weight cut. This type of fight is exhausting.
Oh, Rick Story teed off on him. He connected a couple times on him there. Yes, it's very exhausting, especially when you consider the fact that he dehydrates himself significantly. But so does Rick Story.
True.
Rick Story's a big welterweight as well.
Both are trying to impose their will on the other with under a minute left in the round.
And Thiago's playing a grappling game here with him, which is kind of shocking. I would like to see him pivot out and separate. There he goes. Rick Story's been successful in these clinches. And part of it is because he's so physically strong that Thiago doesn't want to lock up with him.
Landed both those knees. He just buries the head, stays in the pocket, and puts together combinations.
And he's confident in his power.
Yep. Swinging for the fences again.
He's also confident in his ability to do this if he doesn't like how it's going. Huge first round.
The corner of Rick the Horror Story.
Hey, perfect. Same thing this first round. Get him on the ground more, okay? Perfect. Hey, elbows in tight. Bring it back to your chin, okay? He wants a way out right now, okay? We're not going to finish him in the second. We're going to finish him in the third. But get him ready for it. Now, when I'm saying stomps, I want you to start stomping the back of that calf, okay?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean, right? Perfect. You won that round.
That's a happy corner right there.
As they should be.
Good.
And here's a nice tight elbow by Thiago, but look, Rick Story tees off on him. Thiago attempts a kick, eats another punch. Rick Story's just swarming on him. Thiago connects there with a couple of lefts. There's a nice right hand by Thiago. But Rick Story stayed in the pocket.
Ready? Ready? Fight!
Round 2. Good kick.
Look how quickly he gets that back too, Mike.
You don't want to leave that hanging for Rick Story to grab a hold of and complete the takedown.
Thiago's got to circle away from that cage. There's a kick to the body, but immediately Rick locks up the single and drags him to the ground.
And he is powerful. 5-1. 5 straight wins inside the octagon, including one over Johnny Hendricks.
Yeah, he's very physically strong, but he's also got excellent wrestling technique to go along with that physical strength. And a ton of aggression.
Looking to control and beat down Thiago Alves here early in round 2. Fight scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Thiago breaks free.
Now this is where Thiago needs to keep this fight. He needs to control the center of the octagon and not let Rick Story pin him up against the cage. He's got to offer angles.
See, there he tried to punish him on the takedown attempt, Joe, and Story just came right through that leg.
Story, as soon as he gets his hand clasped, you're going for a ride. And he's on top. It was very interesting what his corner was saying is that he doesn't want to be in there right now, talking about Thiago Alves.
Yep.
Rick Story's corner was saying that he's breaking, and you're not going to stop him in the second, but you're going to get him in the third, get him ready in the second. And Thiago takes him down now. And Thiago moves into half guard.
And that somewhat has been kind of the game plan and the MO of Rick Story during his UFC career. He just imposes his will on the opponent. He breaks down their cardio, and he dominates fights. Now Thiago's trying to turn it around.
And look at that quick explosion by Rick Story to get right back up to his feet. Beautifully done. And this is what Rick Story does best. Takes a page right out of Randy Couture's book, presses him up against the cage, and just batters them.
Thiago Alves wanting to maintain that elite status that saw him fight for the title against Georges St-Pierre.
Well, he's dangerously close to being 2 rounds in the hole right now and needing a knockout or a submission to win. He's got to spin out of this and try to take back this round.
I mean, Rick Story is simply tenacious with his takedown attempts.
He is, and he's doing everything he wants to do, and Thiago is not able to implement his game plan here. He's got to push away. Push away, create space, and hold the center of the cage.
Story again,
man, as soon as he gets a little space, Story just jumps on him again.
He had some pretty good knees from this position earlier in the fight, to the thigh and to the calf of Thiago Alves.
Thiago is starting to look very frustrated, Mike.
Which is something you talked about earlier. Not just the physical spirit, but the mental spirit of the fighter, if you can break that. Not just the cardio, but the will. I mean, Thiago has no space to work. No time
now
to try
he's got
to establish
some space.
anything. And he gets clipped.
Well, he dropped. He threw a head kick and fell down there. It was more off balance than anything, but the point is, Story's got him pressed up against the cage again. He was unable to circle out. And that's a bit of a mental lapse there by Thiago, because he knows where the cage is. He knows where he's at. He had to know that he should have circled to his left there. And again, Story drags him to the ground. Rick Story doing everything he wants to do in this fight. Thiago back up. He's got wrist control on Story. Well, he had it for a moment. He's got that underhook. He's got to use it to spin Story. He's got double underhooks here. As soon as he turns him around, he's got to disengage and push away.
I mean, Thiago Alves trains with a ton of great wrestlers at American Top Team, but he doesn't have an answer thus far for Rick Story. This is what he'd like to do, stay at distance and swing.
But it's hard now because his arms are filled up with blood. They gas out. They don't come as quickly as they were in the first round.
End of round 2.
2 rounds in the hole for Thiago. Desperation mode sets in.
Rick Story with constant pressure on Thiago Alves through the first 2 rounds of this fight, Joe. What the Pitbull would like to do in the 3rd round is turn this into a Muay Thai striking match and try to beat down Rick Story, possibly knock him out and win this fight.
If you keep him down, you got to keep your guard locked. Don't kick him, you got to throw your knees. Don't kick him. You got to break the distance and start kicking him. Boxing him. Don't let him pin you against the cage. Get out of the cage. 5 more minutes, let's go.
5 minutos pra gente acabar aqui.
The beautiful Ariani. Rick Story looking for his 6th straight UFC victory. Can Thiago find some distance in which to work?
He's got to be very aware of the cage here, like right now. He's got to spin off. Get out of there. There's a knee. Nicely done by Thiago.
Which is what his corner said, and that was because of close quarters, Joe. But
he may have hurt him there. There's a right hand by Thiago.
They didn't want him throwing kicks because of the threat of the takedown.
There's a nice left hook by Thiago.
Thiago seems to have a slight speed advantage in the striking game.
Well, his arms have recovered in the 2nd round, but the grappling has been taking away from some of that speed. Now there's the awareness. He's got to be careful. He's up against that cage. He had to spin out, spin out. And for Rick Story, this is perfect for him. Nice knee by Story.
That clinch didn't last very long. Both men with big knockout power.
There's a left hook by Thiago that landed. He's got to spin out away from that cage, though. Got to be aware of where he is in the octagon. His movement's significantly limited right now. There he goes, spins out. But Story doing a good job of cutting off the octagon.
Nice shot to the body. Led with the hook.
Good body shot there again.
Rick Story said he likes to emulate Vanderlei Silva when he punishes the body. Now he wants the single.
Switches to a double. Good job by Thiago defending.
Story trying to hold on. The battle continues. Both men exhausted. Nice
Clipped him again with the left hook.
Midway point of the third and final round. Slipped under that one. Story again wants the body and the clinch.
Good defense here by Thiago.
Both men slippery at this point.
But he's got to do something significant here, Mike. Good defense is not enough to win this decision. I believe he's 2 rounds in the hole, and he's got to make something happen.
Story very good in rounds 1 and 2. With the left. Under 2. Story pushing forward still.
Thiago shook him off there. There's a nice right hand. And there's a left.
Uppercut. 90 seconds. Thiago clipped him with the left again.
The Story is just hanging in there, though. Even after Thiago cracks him, Story's still swinging and pressing forward.
Yeah, that Sherman tank approach.
Thiago's takedown defense much better in this third round. And that's probably a sign of Rick Story fatiguing.
Yeah.
And Thiago's free again.
1 minute. Thiago slips and rips.
That was a nice right hand there by Thiago. Oh, and a nice knee.
Clock is the enemy of Thiago Alves. 40 seconds.
Yeah, this would be very interesting if it was a 5-round fight.
Yeah. Because he's really connected on frequent occasion here in the third, Joe. Under 30, Story standing right in the pocket.
Head kick.
Oh, quick hands. Fighting to the finish, both men. 10 seconds. The knee, and another. Good clinch, oh my! What a battle to the very end!
What an end, oh, wow.
Thiago Alves, Rick Story go the distance.
And there's a nice knee by Thiago, and here's a beautiful Rick Story body shot. And there's a left hook by Thiago, right on the jaw. And here's the end of the fight. Both men just letting it all hang out here. Thiago looking for those big knees, and Story swinging hard punches. Great fight.
Rick Story, Thiago Alves. Put on a show here tonight, the MGM Grand Garden Arena. Bruce Buffer has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. All 3 judges score this contest 29-28, declaring the winner by unanimous decision, Rick the Horror Story.
Rick Story wins tonight by unanimous decision, defeating Thiago Alves. He will visit with Joe.
All right, I'm here with Rick Story. Rick, huge win for you tonight. You had a game plan coming in. It was to stick to him, to put the pressure on him, utilize your superior grappling. You pulled it off. How you feeling right now?
You know what? I feel great. It was a great fight. Alves is tough as hell. You know, he throws some hard punches. I just wanted to give thanks to my coach, Pat White, for putting together that game plan and make me work my heart through it.
A big part of your game plan was sticking to him, controlling the grappling exchanges. Were you surprised at how easy it was for you to get close to him and clinch a hold of him?
You know, I mean, him knowing that I was a good wrestler, I come from a good wrestling background, I figured he would have, had a little bit better time defending my takedowns, but, you know, it happens.
Well, look, you've shown time and time again, very difficult for guys to keep you off them. You just moved up the ladder here tonight, kid. It's a big victory for you, and from here on, it's nothing but top contenders.
Yeah, you know, that's what I wanted, and I wanted to prove that I belong up there, and that's all I can say.
And prove it you did. Congratulations on a huge victory. Rick Story, ladies and gentlemen.
6 straight wins inside the octagon for Rick the Horror Story. The Dutch skyscraper, Stefan Struve, battles Hawaiian brawler Travis Brown in a massive heavyweight confrontation which features 13.5 feet of mixed martial artists. All fight fans love a big heavyweight fight. And when 6'7" Travis Brown battles 6'11" Stefan Struve, it's literally a big fight. But the stakes are equally high tonight, as the unbeaten Brown looks to stop Struve from making the leap from prospect to contender.
When I found out I was fighting Stefan Struve, I started to taste the blood in the water. I'm gonna come in hard, I'm coming fast. I'm looking to finish him with the KO in the first round.
He's gonna come out fast and hard and wants to finish the fight in the first round, but after I hit him with a couple kicks, he won't be doing it anymore, and after that, I will come in for the kill.
After seemingly coming out of nowhere, Travis Brown quickly carved a spot out for himself among the UFC heavyweights with an impressive first-round TKO of James McSweeney and a hard-fought draw with perennial contender Czech Congo. Tonight, he looks to solidify his place even more by taking out Stefan Struve.
This fight with Stefan Struve means everything. I've been sitting around for the last 7 months thinking about my fight with Congo. It's not sitting well with me. Coming out tonight to finish the fight and put on a show for the fans.
A true rising star in the division, 23-year-old Stefan Struve is building a solid fan base, not only due to his ever-growing talent, but because of his heart in the heat of battle. Seemingly unhappy, unless he rebounds from some adversity, Struve did it again last fight, as he overcame some early trouble to stop Sean McCorkle.
Tonight's gonna be important. This is gonna be a big win for me. I'm gonna move on in the heavyweight division and show everyone I'm a contender here.
Our tale of the tape for this heavyweight fight. Brown is 5 years older, 4 inches shorter. Little heavier is Struve. There's Struve's reach advantage, 6 inches. Bruce Buffer.
And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Steve Mazzagatti.
Steve Mazzagatti, our referee for this heavyweight collision. The beautiful Shondella, Ariani,
Right,
Brittany.
gentlemen.
Here tonight, UFC 130. Here we go. Black trunks for Hapa. Skyscraper in the white trunks. Good kick.
Beautiful leg kick. Perfect
I was going to say
technique.
kick, Joe, and then it was answered. Both men.
Travis very light on his feet here.
Travis feels that his maturity, being older, will help him in this fight. They both have been around the game for a while. Actually, Struve has more MMA experience, but he said that he thinks his maturity and his age will benefit him. We'll find out. Coming off his fight against Czech Congo in London. Again, like I said, 5 wins in less than a minute for Travis Brown, the Hawaiian.
Nice short elbow there by Travis Brown.
Don't hold it up there. Don't hold it up there. Stop, stop, break clean, break clean, back, fight.
Outside with that left and then coming over the top with the right. Here's Brown, kick checked. Brown the aggressor early, Joe. Oh my, look how quick that leg came up.
I'm already seeing improvements in the striking of Struve, the way he's moving. Nice leg kick by Brown.
Man, that straight front kick. And there's the one to
Caught
the side.
that one.
Yep. Very powerful from Stefan Struve. Came right up the middle earlier.
Brown's winging those shots. Just having a hard time finding the chin of Struve.
Struve trying to find his groove. Checked again.
He's doing a great job of checking those kicks, just coming automatically. That's that training with Daniel Guida. That will do that for you, because that guy's got some of the very best leg kicks in the business.
Good teeth.
Brown looking to take the fight to the ground there, it looks like. Yep, there he goes. Into half guard. Struve is excellent off his back. He's got a very well-rounded game.
Struve 25-4 in his MMA career. He's won 10 of his last 12, 2 of those in the UFC. And as you said, Joe, he's just 23 years old.
Struve so far doing a good job of neutralizing Travis.
And Brown is unbeaten in his MMA career.
Brown staying solid on him here, not letting Struve get that knee up. Now he does, and he's, oh, nicely done by Struve.
And he hops right on it.
Went into a choke.
Looking to take advantage of
the
opening.
He's got a darce, those long arms. He let it go, he's switching to an anaconda. He's rolling in the anaconda choke. Oh, Travis pops out. Those long arms of Struve will aid him in those type of chokes.
You want him up, Travis, step back, I'll get him up.
He looked to jump on that opening. Did Stefan Struve. Back up to their feet, just over a minute on the clock in round 1. Watch for the kicks of Struve.
Travis connected on that one, a glancing shot.
Oh my goodness! It is all over!
Wow!
Travis Brown with the Superman punch finishes this fight. Wow! Vicious knockout victory.
Out of nowhere. And that is one of the exciting things about mixed martial arts. Anything can happen at any second. And let's see that again. Here's that Superman punch right on the chin. And he was out before he hit the ground. Let's see it again. I mean, you can't connect any more perfectly than that. Let's see it one more time. Boom! Outstanding.
Travis Brown, winner by knockout. He remains unbeaten in his professional career.
One, shirt.
He was the aggressor throughout this fight. He pushed forward, he connected, game over. Spectacular knockout victory for the Hawaiian Travis Brown. Bruce Buffer has the official decision.
I'm here. What?
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Steve Mazzagani has called a stop to this contest at 4 minutes, 11 seconds of the very first round. Declaring the winner by knockout, Travis Happa Brown.
Travis Brown, winner by knockout.
All right, I'm here with the winner, Travis Brown. An outstanding knockout. Superman punch KO. You were having a hard time fighting his chin earlier in the round, but when you found it perfectly.
Yeah, baby, that's what we do. That's what we train every day. Come in here and touch somebody up. You know, that's Alliance, baby. San Diego, Honolulu, let's do it. Hawaii, let's go, baby.
Let's take a look at your handiwork. Look at the big screen and watch how perfectly you connected with this punch. We're gonna show you a couple different angles, but it doesn't get any sweeter than that.
Yeah, son, that's pretty. I think that's almost as pretty as my spandex. You know what I mean?
I do know you.
Quick, Joe, real quick. There's a man here in the stands. His name's Rick Barton. Baby, this fight's for you. I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much.
Congratulations on an outstanding victory. We can't wait to see you again. Travis Brown, ladies and gentlemen.
Travis Brown with a spectacular highlight reel knockout victory tonight inside the MGM Grand Garden Arena. Big Country believes he is the next big man to battle for the heavyweight belt. But first, Roy Nelson must beat down the former king of the heavyweight division, Frank Mir.
Protect himself. Nope, this is it.
Any fighter in the heavyweight division can knock another heavyweight out.
Oh! Frank Mir! Wow!
I don't think any fighter in the UFC wants a fight to go to decision. It always leaves questions. When one guy goes to sleep, kind of answers all the questions.
He's got Congo's neck, Mike. He's got a guillotine. Tyson Congo's in some serious trouble right here.
I see myself winning this fight just by being the better fighter. But at the end of the day, it's about me opposing my will.
Hitting and moving is where it plays into my advantage. Peppering him with shots when he comes in and making him pay when I do hit him with something. A victory over Roy just keeps me in the mix towards the title.
I know that I can stand with the best of the best. I'm looking at all the tough challenges. I want to fight for the belt.
Just like that.
There is no malicious blood, but still be bones be trying to be broken and people still knock people's heads off.
He is, like I said at the top of the show, to many, he's the people's champion.
He's one of the great personalities of the sport, without a doubt.
Showed off his tremendous physique yesterday at the weigh-ins.
Tremendous is a good word.
Yes. But the thing is, you know, the old adage, don't judge a book by its cover. This man can fight.
He really can, Mike. It's very deceiving looking at him. You know, he went the full 3 rounds with Junior Dos Santos in an epic slugfest. Took some huge shots from Dos Santos and was still there at the final bell. That alone shows you what kind of shape he's in, despite having a high percentage of body fat. His cardio is actually quite good. He's got very heavy hands. The knockout of Brendan Schaub to win the Ultimate Fighter, knockout of Stefan Struve. I mean, anybody he connects with, he knows how to get his weight behind that punch and get that leverage behind that punch, and he can take it himself.
Born and raised right here in Las Vegas, as is the case with his opponent Frank Mir, Nelson Cimarron Memorial High School, class of 1994. Mir went to Bonanza High School, graduated 4 years later. Yeah, do they respect each other? Yes. If they shared the Zuffa gym from time to time? Yes, but both men made it very clear they're not friends. And that doesn't mean they don't like each other, but there's not I'm not sure I can hit you, I'm not sure I can hit you back. It's all about getting to the top of the heavyweight division. So the fact that they know each other, drive down the strip against each other, that will have no bearing on the contest inside the octagon tonight. Roy, Big Country Nelson. He is the former UFC champion, Frank Mir. Won the title in the heavyweight division in 2004. 2 of his last 3 wins have come by knockout. He believes he will wear that belt again.
I talked about grappling, and I gave the advantage to Roy Nelson simply because Roy had beaten Frank by an overwhelming points margin in a pure grappling competition. But when you look at MMA grappling, Frank Mir has a highlight reel of submissions. The breaking of the arm of Tim Sylvia, the putting Czech Congo to sleep, the beating of Brock Lesnar with a knee bar in his UFC debut. You know, he's just over and over again shown outstanding technique with his grappling. And he's a really big heavyweight as well. 260 pounds, very lean now, has taken to powerlifting to try to compete with the bigger heavyweights like Shane Carwin and Brock Lesnar. And a refocused, rededicated Frank Mir that we've seen over the past 2 years is a very, very, very dangerous opponent for any man in this division.
Well, after the title fight against Brock Lesnar, he put on 20 pounds of muscle for the Czech Congo fight. And he believes that, hey, if you're going to run with the big dogs, he can be big. He still feels good, still feels mobile, still feels like his cardio is as good as it was when he was about 240. Frank Mir is a big man, and you know what, Joe? Not only does he have knockout power with his hands, but his submissions are like a knockout punch. They're quick and they're violent.
Yeah, he jumps on submissions. Another interesting thing about Frank is that he's basically become a vegetarian. Over the past couple of years, he's radically altered his diet, and he says it's improved his cardio and his ability to recover drastically. And we've seen that from many fighters, from John Fitch, of course. Jake Shields is a vegetarian. Many, many fighters are resorting to that.
The former UFC heavyweight champion of the world, Frank Mir. Our tale of the tape for this heavyweight fight. Both men born and raised right here in Las Vegas. Nelson a bit older, Mir a bit taller. He will have a 6-inch reach advantage. With the official introductions, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the co-main event of the evening. And now, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a kung fu fighter holding a professional record, 16 wins, 5 losses. He stands 6 feet tall, weighing in at 260 pounds. Fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, ladies and gentlemen, he is the Ultimate Fighter Season 10 winner, Roy Big Country Nelson! And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This man is a mixed martial artist, holding a professional record, 14 wins, 5 losses, standing 6 feet 3 inches tall, weighing in at 260 pounds. Fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, he is the former UFC heavyweight champion, Frank Mir! And when the the action begins, our referee in charge, Josh Rosenthal.
All right, gentlemen, we begin with commands. I expect a clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Defend yourselves at all times. Touch gloves. Let's do this.
Frank Mir, Roy Nelson. Heavyweight matchup here tonight in their hometown of Las Vegas.
Gentlemen, you ready? You ready? Let's fight.
Here we go. Mir very confident in his striking. His father, Frank Mir Sr., always with him during his training now. Jimmy Gifford, working his boxing in his hands, conditioning.
The Big Country instigates the clinch. Nice knee by Mir. And Mir drops down for a single, defended by Roy. Very well.
Two powerful men trying to battle for position early. Big Country now pushes Frank up against the cage. The little movements to try to better your position. Two big heavyweights, Big Country and the former champion, Frank Mir. Oh, nicely done by Mir. Back to the center of the octagon.
That was a big knee by Frank Mir.
Oh, and again.
He missed that one. Oh, head kick.
Mir very confident, pushing forward. He got tagged with a right. Big Country pushing him up against the cage.
Let's keep him clean. Let's keep him clean, Roy.
Roy making Frank work, carrying all that weight. Keeping him pressed up against the cage. There's a nice knee by Frank. And another one to the head. And another one.
Frank has ended a lot of fights in his career in the first round.
Well, he stopped Mirko Krokop with a beautiful knee in his last fight.
He's teeing off here. And again.
Oh!
And another. Big Country pushes away. Look at the smile on the face of Frank Mir. Well, we saw in the fight against Junior Dos Santos, though, Roy Nelson can take a punch, he can take a knee, and he keeps coming.
Well, the only time I've ever seen him stopped is the Andrei Arlovsky fight. And that was a fight back in the Elite XC days where they had artificial stand-ups, or he had Arlovsky inside control working for a Kimura, and they stood him up.
Nelson said he wanted to push Frank and make him panic. So far, Frank has been able to do a lot of that. Just over 90 seconds on the clock here, round one. Co-main event of the evening.
We got the action, guys.
There's that right hand, a Big Country. He's gonna paw with that jab.
Oh, nice uppercut. The
head kick.
And a right hand to follow. Mir got him with another knee. He's really working the clinch in the knee, Joe.
Nice straight left hand.
He's grabbing, pulling on the back of the head of Roy Nelson and jamming that knee in, much like the Krokop fight. Oh!
Beautiful takedown by
How good was that? Right to the mouth.
Full mount.
"35 seconds.
He's trying to get his back.
Yep, 2 Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts.
He's going for the over-under here. He lost position.
Nelson right back up.
Well, that was a beautiful throw by Frank Mir.
Final seconds of round 1.
Great first round.
Over here.
We start in the corner of Frank Mir. Some big shots thrown by Frank in the first 5 minutes of this fight. Against Big Country. There you see his father in the back.
It's right there.
There's a big knee by Frank Mir. He gets the tie clinch. There's another one to the side of the head. Very nicely done. There's another one. And a straight left behind it. And here's a beautiful toss. Look at that. Oh!
Roy Nelson in his first 2 UFC fights won by knockout, walked away with knockout of the night honors. Looking for his 3rd UFC win here against Frank Mir. Mir, 12 wins inside the octagon. All but 2 of his pro fights have been in the UFC. Good shot.
Roy keeps looking for that right hand. You know, he doesn't mix up his strikes nearly as well as Mir does.
And Mir's kicking the body.
But he does have that one-punch knockout power. The problem is it's primarily with his right hand. And because of that, he sort of gives it up. Frank drops down for a single. And down. Nice.
Big Country's tough to submit.
Frank's basically in half guard, but that's a loose half guard. He can pop that left leg out anytime he so chooses.
Season 10 Ultimate Fighter, heavyweight winner, Roy Nelson.
He's covering Roy's mouth. Nice elbow by Frank. He knows Roy's getting tired. Covering his mouth.
Dan the Outlaw Hardy in the corner of Roy Nelson.
And then he moves to mount. He's going to take the back.
Nelson trying to get towards the fence and work his way back up.
I'll tell you what, having that big belly actually does help keep guys off your back because it sort of blocks your ability to put in the hooks.
Dirty boxing. Both men weighed in at 260 pounds.
It's 2 very different 260-pound bodies, though.
I think that would be correct. Again with the knee. Tried to hit the elbow.
Roy looks like if he really dedicated himself and changed his diet, he could easily fight at 205. And down. And Frank's gonna mount him again. Roy keeps him off with that left butterfly hook.
Midway point of this fight.
Let's work, gentlemen.
Mir in the half guard of Nelson. Trying to control the wrist and better his position.
So far, Frank Mir is owning this fight.
Frank's won 5 of his last 7.
He's hanging on the back of Roy Nelson. And as Roy goes to stand up, he's going to try to make him carry his weight.
Now Nelson trying to reverse.
Roy's got double underhooks here. Let's see if he can take Frank down. It's a big deep breath. Oh!
Again with that kick and the knee. He's been using that kick to the body all night long, as Frank. Now Nelson pushes Mir against the cage. Can't drag him down.
Well, it really seems to be the difference between a real, true, legitimate heavyweight and a guy that's fighting at heavyweight because he loves food. And it's not saying that he's not skilled, because he clearly is. Roy's very skilled. It's just he doesn't do himself a service by coming in with this much body fat.
16-5 against 14-5.
That said, Roy still has that one-punch power.
Question.
If he can separate and find Frank Mir's chin.
Let's work, guys. All right, clean break, clean break, clean break.
Final seconds of this second round. Both men exhausted.
I wouldn't say Frank's exhausted. I mean, he might be tired. Roy Nelson is exhausted.
Come on, head up, head up. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming.
They get his pants pulled up as they were starting to slip down.
That's the first time I've ever heard a referee tell the corner to make sure a guy's pants get pulled up. And there you can see the look on Roy Nelson's face right there. It tells you everything you need to know about how this fight has gone.
There's a counter off that kick. You've got to throw it. You were doing it in the dressing room. Just got to do it one time to put him down.
Gentlemen, seconds out.
Nelson said coming into the fight he wanted to fight the fight at his pace, not Frank's. That has certainly not been the case. Mir has dictated this fight through 10 minutes.
Gentlemen, last round. Let's fight.
Third and final round. Still big, deep breaths from Big Country. See if he kicks to the body again. Not a lot left in the tank of Big Country.
He's exhausted, and he's trying to pace himself and not expend too much energy. Big knee by Frank.
After that kick to the body. And he marches him right up against the cage.
Frank drops down, and he's got him down.
Trying to mount Roy Nelson.
Well, I couldn't have been more wrong in giving the grappling advantage to Roy Nelson. Frank has dominated every single aspect of the grappling.
Short elbows. First he affects the breathing by covering the mouth of Nelson, then uses the leverage to throw the elbow.
This really shows you the difference between an in-shape and conditioned Frank Mir, as you see here now, and the guy who fought Roy Nelson in a grappling competition who really wasn't training very hard.
Back in 2003, Grappler's Quest.
Beautiful pass right there.
Nelson won big.
Frank is going to attempt a Kimura here.
He'd love to finish this fight.
It would be a huge feather in his cap to submit Roy Nelson. He pins down his arm. And Roy's back up to his feet.
Got to be careful of the knee he avoids for now.
Another big knee.
He's utilized that Muay Thai clinch all throughout tonight's 3-round heavyweight fight. Another takedown.
Again, he's got him down. Roy has no answers to any of this.
Mir again with those elbows and now some fists. Under 2 on the clock.
Roy back up to his feet again. There's no quit in big country.
Mir looks up at the time, 1:45. Got that right arm locked in. Nelson trying to get it free. And again, over and over.
Yeah, Roy hesitates just a little bit, and Frank takes advantage of it.
Nelson is gassed. Oh!
Big elbow by Frank. Oh,
and
another one.
And you talked about the in-shape Frank Mir, Joe.
Oh!
Those are heavy.
And Roy's just taking them. Those are undeflected, right on the chin, right on the face. And now Frank's making Roy carry all of his weight.
Throws a couple of knees. Nelson back up. Wow. You're right about one thing, though. There is no quit in Roy Nelson.
Oh, he's got a tremendous heart to go with that tremendous belly.
Well, this has been a tremendous performance by Frank Mir.
Don't grab the fence, Roy.
Final seconds of this heavyweight fight. Fight goes the distance.
I think there can be no question about the outcome of this fight.
Absolutely.
There's a big knee by Frank Mir, followed by a straight left. This was earlier in the fight, and this is the story of the fight. Frank just dominated every aspect of this fight. Dominated the stand-up, dominated the grappling, landed some big elbows on the ground. Just a clear-cut victory for Frank Mir.
Bruce Buffer has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. The judges score this contest 30-27, 30-27, and 30-26. Declaring the winner by unanimous decision, Frank Mir!
Frank Mir by unanimous decision.
All right, I'm here with the winner, the former champion, Frank Mir. Frank, dominant performance tonight. You did pretty much everything you wanted to do with this fight. How happy are you with your performance?
Oh, great. Pushed hard against a tough guy. How many times did I knee him in the face?
A lot.
Oh my God, what's up with that guy's chin?
He took some heavy shots both in the stand-up and on the ground. You hit him with some vicious elbows. I mean, he's got a tremendous ability to absorb punishment.
Isabella, I told you. My daughter, I promised you last night. I'm not losing. So,
well, you certainly didn't lose this fight. It was a clear-cut and dominant victory for you. What do you think is next? You're coming off 2 great victories, the Crow Cop fight, and now this one. What's next for you?
keep getting better.
Here comes the Rampage. Wow! Rampage Jackson! Wow!
Rampage is one of the biggest knockout artists in the sport. If he connects with anybody, his hands are lethal.
I'm gonna try to do to Matt Hamill like I try to do to all my opponents. Whoop his ass.
Everyone thinks that I'm not ready for rapping. I love to be on the dawn.
He's evolved from being a wrestler on The Ultimate Fighter to becoming a very dangerous stand-up artist. A guy with some heavy power in his hands.
I'm tough to go after him, pressure on him, and take him down. My job is to beat him up and try to get my hands ring.
I'm not worried about what he wants to do to me. Honestly, I ain't give a I think Matt should worry about what I'm gonna do to him.
Everyone knows that he's game plan. He loves to strike. I'm really comfortable for my shot, and he can't stop my takedown.
This is the strength of Matt Hamill's game.
It's gonna be a war. I'm not worried about rapping.
But Matt Hamill's gonna eat his words, but I'm dead serious. You've highly upset me, and I'm taking this fight very personal.
It's hammer time, so I'm...
Matt Hamill is a guy that I can knock out. And I like knocking people out.
Matt the Hammer Hamill comes into this fight on a 2-fight win streak, defeating Keith Jardine and Tito Ortiz, both by decision. The Tito Ortiz fight particularly significant because Tito was Matt's coach on The Ultimate Fighter. And Tito had the opportunity to see Matt come full circle from really a wrestler entering into mixed martial arts competition to a mixed martial artist capable of defeating guys at the upper echelon of competition. The Tito Ortiz victory was huge. A victory over Quentin Rampage Jackson will be even more so.
Been fighting in the UFC since 2006. 11-2 in his MMA career. After the Ultimate Fighter time spent with Tito Ortiz, he trained with Tito and Big Bear. He has continued to develop his entire mixed martial arts arsenal, and he will need it all tonight against Rampage. 3-time Division III National Wrestling Champion, Matt the Hammer Hamill. Same nickname as the Hall of Fame Hammer. Both men from the Buckeye State, Ohio. Matt the Hammer Hamill, hoping tonight will provide him with the biggest win of his mixed martial arts career.
Well, he looks very calm entering into the biggest fight of his life.
He has been confident and relaxed, composed, and just very much in a great place mentally, Joe, throughout his entire training camp.
He feels this fight is for him.
Yep. For many years, he has been one of MMA's elite. The first ever undisputed champion when he defeated Dan Henderson years ago. At that time, Henderson had the Pride Belt. Rampage, the former UFC light heavyweight champion, 21 of his 31 career wins by stoppage, 14 by knockout.
One of the biggest power punchers in the sport, but also one of the best chins in the sport. The Rashad Evans fight really showed that. Rashad came charging out in the first round, faked the takedown with a running punch, connected square on Rampage's chin, and he recovered very quickly. And that really aids him, his ability to withstand punishment, because he can stay in the pocket, duck and roll, cover and roll, and land bombs. The bomb that he took out Vanderlei Silva with, that kind of one-punch power that he used to dispatch Chuck Liddell. He can do that to any man in the world. If he connects, they're in deep, deep trouble.
He has fought all the best fighters. He has beaten most of them. And tonight, he will look for his 7th UFC victory and put himself in prime position for another shot at the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship. Has won 9 of his last 11 fights, including the win over the former light heavyweight champion, Lyoto the Dragon Machida. Lance Gibson pushes Rampage to the edge. Quentin training again at the Wolf's Lair in Liverpool, England, with Michael Bisping in the crew. Truly one of the sport's most charismatic figures. Truly one of the sport's most vicious. The beautiful thing about Quentin Rampage Jackson, Joe, is every time he steps into the octagon, you sit back and have a feeling something very dynamic could happen.
Absolutely, at any point in time. His highlight reel is one of the best in the sport.
Quentin Rampage Jackson. Against Matt Hamill. Our tale of the tape for this, our main event of the evening. Hamill, 2 years older, he will have a 3-inch reach advantage. With the introductions, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Our 3 judges scoring this contest are Len Trowbridge, Tony Weeks, and Roy Silver. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the Octagon, Herb Dean. And now, live from the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas, it's time! 3 rounds in the UFC Light Heavyweight Division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a freestyle fighter, holding a professional record, 11 wins, 2 losses. He stands 6 feet 1 inch tall, weighing in at 205 pounds. Fighting out of Utica, New York, by way of Loveland, Ohio, Matt the Hammer Hamill. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This man is a mixed martial artist, holding a professional record, 31 wins, 8 losses. Standing 6 feet 1 inch tall, weighing in at 205 pounds. Fighting out of Irvine, California, by way of Memphis, Tennessee. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the former UFC light heavyweight champion, Quentin Rampage Jackson!
All right, gentlemen, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. We're gonna keep it clean. Touch him up. Let's make it official.
All right, Matt Hamill, this is the fight you wanted. This is the fight you're gonna get. Quentin Rampage Jackson, Matt the Hammer Hamill. Our main event of the evening.
You ready to fight? You ready? Let's do it.
Here we go! Quick kick by Hamill in the white trunks. Black trunks for Rampage. Head kick, vicious hooks are in that striking arsenal of Quentin Rampage Jackson. A lot of kicks early by Hamill.
Well, if they've looked at some of the past fights of Rampage, especially the Forrest Griffin fight, he had a real problem with the leg kicks of Forrest.
Forrest put on a clinic that night. Oh, look for the takedown. Rampage stuffs it.
Easily defended.
Trying to make him pay. Hamill has that head kick knockout of Mark Munoz on his resume. A lot of kicks early. Tried to fake the right and brought the left. Rampage is very tough to take down. We've watched Matt Hamill grow up inside the octagon. On season 3, he was Tito Ortiz's top pick.
He has thrown a lot of kicks here early.
See if Rampage tries to counter one of those kicks.
And he's leaning in, throwing punches. He's got to be careful of the uppercut of Rampage Jackson.
You know, and that's one thing they talked about pre-fight is that Matt does have a tendency to lean on his punches, Joe. Especially the jab. And you don't want to get caught with one of those hooks. Again, see, Rampage is looking to time it.
He's throwing everything into these shots, too. He seems a bit tense.
Hamill realizes what a win tonight against Rampage could do for his career.
And again with that leg kick.
Countered with the left hook, he missed.
And again,
uppercut. Rampage engaging off the leg kicks. Try to punish him if he looks for the takedown. Uppercut or a knee. A great solution for a takedown attempt.
I'm surprised that Hamill is reaching so much for the takedown attempts.
Checked in a combination back.
That left hand landed. See, I mean, he's really telegraphing and reaching for these takedowns.
And he gets in dangerous territory when he's not successful with them. Non-title fight scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Stuffed again.
Again, and he sees him coming. The problem is to get close enough to actually be threatening with punches, he's got to run the risk of getting hit by punches. And if he's not close enough to threaten with punches, it's very difficult to set up the shot. And that is the problem that Matt Hamill is finding right now.
Hamill with that long leaning jab. Greatly improved stand-up since we saw him on The Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah, but he's not committing to strikes, Mike. He's leaning outside of him a bit because he's anticipating the counter of Rampage.
Rampage stuffed with a knee. Man, he has stuffed each and every one of the takedown attempts. I mean, Matt hasn't even gotten close, Joe.
Yeah, and as I said, his takedown attempts are very telegraphed.
Going right at Hamill. Under 30 seconds left in the round.
There's the uppercut. He hit him hard with a jab there as well.
He's got him wobbled again.
Hamill's in trouble.
Over the top.
He's in big trouble,
yep,
Mike.
Rampage is hunting him down.
If he can't take Rampage down, this is going to be a short night for Matt Hamill.
Under 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
Rampage finishes with a kick.
Where's that cut man?
Duff Holmes in the corner of Matt Hamill.
Doing good, doing good. I need a little bit more movement though, okay? No, interpreter. Come on, man. I told you before we came in. You gotta, you gotta move a little bit more, okay?
That's right. He's an interpreter for the sign language.
Movement, beat up that.
Finish your combinations. Give me a 2 Memphis when you put him against that cage. Have him back up, cut off that cage, 2 Memphis.
Stitch working on a cut.
Let's go.
Over the right eye, or on the eyelid, pardon me, of Rampage. And as Leon Tabbs was working on Matt Hamill, it makes it a little difficult for Duff Holmes to communicate because he's got to have that eye contact so that Matt can read his lips.
There's that head kick again.
Second round.
And again, sloppy takedown attempt.
Rampage likes to fight in a phone booth, man. He likes to be in tight, Joe. And as you said, for Hamill to get a hold of him, he's got to go right into one of the strengths of Quinton's striking game.
I like that leg kick that Rampage landed at the end of that first round.
Again, he sees it coming.
A mile away.
Rampage with another knee. Quinton looks light on his feet. He looks fresh tonight.
Well, he's obviously in shape. He had no problems making the weight this time. Didn't come into camp heavy. And again, Matt tries to take him down.
And needed a midsection, caught him.
Oh, big uppercut.
Quinton Rampage Jackson did his homework on the wrestling shots of Matt Hamill.
No question about it.
Lead hook by the Hammer.
The only thing that Matt Hamill can hope for at this point is that Quinton slows down. But he's not putting enough pressure on him to make him tired. He shot for a low single this time.
Again, Rampage with that knee. And Joe, that's the point, because you and I have talked about it many times. He has not had any pressure put on him. He doesn't have Hamill leaning on him, pushing against him on the fence to try to wear down Rampage.
Yeah, and he's not threatening him at all with a stand-up.
And as Quinton's got warmed up, his punches are a lot looser. You're not throwing everything with that grunt and, kind of taken away from his cardio. Looks very loose, very fluid.
I would just like to see Quinton mix it up with some kicks. I think that would really help him. It could hurt Hamill, and it could also open up many more opportunities for punches because he'll be less predictable.
Hamill wanted the fight. Let's see what he brings. Caught him with the left. 2 minutes. Rampage waiting to counter again.
Hamill's jab looks so slow in this fight.
He's gotten tagged a few times. You know, the big question was, can he take Rampage down? The answer is a definitive no thus far, 90 seconds.
Yeah, he hasn't even come close.
Good kick.
Again, an attempt and stuffed easily.
And not only stuffed, but punished for every takedown attempt.
Yeah, he's just not driving through these shots.
Rampage to the body. 50 seconds on the clock, round 2. Loose, confident. Looking to finish this fight. Rampage, big body shot, big uppercut,
Hamill's
and
hurt.
a knee. Been defying the odds his entire life, Matt Hamill, and he's hanging in. Barely at times, but he's hanging in. Oh my goodness.
Vicious body shots by Rampage. And again, easily stuffed the takedown attempts.
Over the top, to the knee, to the body.
10 seconds.
Another big round for Rampage, and you know, a terrible round for Matt Hamill.
Wait.
And there we see a head kick. There's an uppercut, left hook. Neither one landed cleanly. Hamill's trying to get out of the way.
Do you hear me? Quentin, do you hear me?
Are you listening?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Everything tight guard. You can see everything he's doing. Stuff that takedown. Your elbows are working. Screw jab. Work his body. Put his back to the cage so he has no way out but your hands or your knees. Quentin, I want one more fucking round out of you. Look at me. One more round, and this is it. Put him to sleep. No, don't give him nothing. This is lotto ticket. Last number.
Backhands.
Okay? Let's do it, baby. Come on, Quentin. Come on, Quentin. The beast.
Very fired up Lance Gibson in the corner of Quentin Rampage Jackson. Matt Hamill looking for some answers. Third and final round. Came out with a Superman punch. Countered by Jackson. Oh man, leaning with that jab.
The most shocking thing to me is the lack of success he's had with his takedown attempts. I mean, not even threatening. Every one of them looked like Rampage easily blocked it.
He never even had to sprawl, Joe. He just strong on his hips, got out of the way, and a lot of times he was able to punish him. And again,
way outside.
Yep.
Way outside, telegraphed. Now he's got a body lock. Nope. Rampage shakes it off. Now this is his grandest opportunity here. If he could drop down for a double here.
you know, we've seen Matt Hamill not only take people down, but ragdoll them. And I can't remember Matt having such a difficult time taking down his opponent.
John Jones, the only other fight, but you know, he got ragdolled in that fight.
And Rampage has just gotten looser since that first round. He wants to finish. Wants the big knockout. To the body again.
It's the difference in impact when Rampage connects as opposed to Hamill. And Matt again gets the body lock. Let's see if he can do anything about it.
3 minutes remain in this fight.
You know, he's got to do something really drastic. He got hit with a big knee there. he's got to not just take him down, he's really got to finish him. I mean, I can't imagine a world in which Rampage didn't win the first 2 rounds.
Two and a half. Hamill has to know that too, Joe. Again.
The thing about Quinton right now, though, is that he's got a possible shot at the light heavyweight title in his future. But to make that fight sellable, he's got to win in spectacular fashion tonight. He can't just squeak by. I mean, he's beaten Matt Hamill up, but he needs a finish.
He's got 2 minutes to do it.
There's a nice leg kick.
And he got right out of the way.
Beautiful takedown defense and lands a left hook.
Matt Hamill's a tough kid.
That's never been questioned.
Nope.
There's another nice leg kick.
Little respect for both men. 90 seconds.
Prince took some deep breaths there. He's going to refuel for another run at him.
Pacing himself for the big finish. Matt kind of faked that shot there. To the body.
Another nice knee.
Just over a minute on the clock. Rampage looking for his 32nd career victory. And the real key to this fight is the fact that the fine wrestler who is Matt Hamill has been unable to take Rampage down. Three-time Division III National Wrestling Champion. 30 seconds. One last shot at it.
There's a nice knee.
Superman punch. 15. Rampage swinging for the fences.
Nice combination and a knee to the body as well. He's tired, but he's still pushing it. He's trying to end this fight.
They go the distance. A dominant performance by the former light heavyweight champion. I mean, credit Matt Hamill, Joe, because Rampage was looking to finish his fight.
Look, Matt Hamill took some big shots. Early and often through the entire fight. He got beat up. He got discouraged at every turn, every time he tried to make a takedown attempt. And here you see the defense of Quinton Rampage Jackson. I mean, Matt Hamill never even came close to taking him down. He shot for a low single, shot for doubles, tried the body lock, tried to clinch, went Greco-Roman on him, nothing. There's a nice elbow by Quinton and a nice left hook behind it.
Judges rendering their decision. Bruce Buffer has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. All 3 judges score this contest 30-27, declaring the winner by unanimous decision, Quinton Rampage Jackson.
No doubt about it, all Rampage tonight. Staying true to the mold of an MMA elitist, the street soldier, Rampage Jackson.
All right, I'm here with the winner, Quinton Rampage Jackson. Quinton, the story of this fight really seemed to be your ability to stuff the takedown and keep the fight on your terms. What's up?
I didn't get taken down?
No!
Good.
No, you did absolutely everything you wanted to do. Were you surprised the amount of punishment that guy took?
Hey, man, Hamill's tough, man. I tried to knock him out. I had to apologize for not putting up the fight I wanted to because I came into this fight with a fractured hand, but I still came and fought for you guys. And I apologize. Man, Hamill's really tough. I still tried to knock him out, so I apologize I couldn't put forward the type of fight that I wanted to.
Well, your takedown defense was excellent, and you hit him with some big shots. You discouraged him at every turn, but, you know, it's amazing how much punishment that guy was able to withstand.
Oh, man, you know, he's tough. He's really tough. He's a great fighter. He has some good kicks. He had a great game plan. I just wish I could have did my game plan a little bit more, but I did what I had to do. I scraped out the W. I tried to make it exciting as I could, but man, ain't no chump, man.
Outside of the injury, how happy were you with your performance?
Outside the injury, from a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give myself a 5 tonight. But, you know, I wanted to try some new things just for Joe Rogan so he don't think I don't know how to kick. I did at least 1 or 2 kicks.
You landed several good ones.
And some elbows, and I blocked the kick. But I just want to thank God, my teammates, my family, Yuki, and the kids. Thank you guys for everything you do for me. And everybody helped me train, and my team, Wolflair, and stuff like that. So everybody come party with me at Gallery tonight at the Planet Hollywood. First round's on me. Only if you're a hot girl with some double D's.
Congratulations, Quentin. Look forward to seeing you again. Quentin Jackson, ladies and gentlemen.
Rampage with the win. The 7th of his UFC career. The executive producers of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, Frank Fertitta III, Lorenzo Fertitta, and UFC President Dana White. Our supervising producers, Craig Borsari. Tonight's show, produced by Bruce Connell. Directed by Anthony Pasquale Giordano. Brian Stan, outstanding performance again this evening. The stars were looking for the knockouts, and man, they got some good battles and some highlight reel knockouts. Rick Story earns a huge win over the former top contender, Thiago, the Pitbull Alves. Rick Story feels he's ready to make his run to the top. Boom! Superman punch for the finish. A huge knockout for Travis Brown. Then it was heavyweight time. A battle of the boys from Las Vegas. The former champion, the Ultimate Fighter winner. And Frank Mir was dominant. Taking down, not out, but defeating Big Country Roy Nelson. Then it was time for Rampage, who wanted a highlight reel knockout of his own. But Matt the Hammer Hamill would not have it. He fought hard, he fought with heart, but he was overmatched by the former light heavyweight champion tonight. For my partner Joe Rogan, Mike Goldberg, saying so long until next time. We see you right back here, inside the Octagon.